and the right one is working flawlessly. This one, however, it's not happy. I think these ears is not worn, so we need to try them. So I'm gonna put it here, and on the workbenches there. Glass is in good shape. This is the heated glass with electrical out-of-limit function. So we need to get to the mechanism that's in here, and I have some spare parts which should be clips always break. Where this is the housing, you can things are located inside. I'm going to use compressed air and a bit of brake cleaner and just clean this area. Alright, I got the cover off, and I thought for sure I'd find some worn gears, but no, so I'm not sure where, why it is. Where's your front lights? The mirror got broken, I already replaced that mirror in that car, so hopefully you can see here how worn the gears are. This is the old one there. We have Grigio from Liquid Molly. And you have that in there. Desk. Put it back in. Cool. Let's go test it. Yes! Well, that was a nice little fix. It's the small things, ladies and señoras. It's the small things. So, let's take a spin. So it's this one. In order to take the rear cap has to be professionally do in place because all the types are broken, but the folding function is both sides. Stands 65 looks so good. 5. Nice. Oh, solid, very nice cut. Why was the gift? Black exterior, it just looks so well. And then on top of that, it's nice, soft, not all leather. You know, I said that several times, but it really is nice. And then these seats are much more comfortable than sport seats. To me, these are comfort seats. I mean, comfort seats, so technically they have the electrical stuff and then the adjustable upper part, but the cushions are just exactly the same. So when you're actually sitting in these seats, they're really, really comfortable. And just, you have a seat. Yeah, that this seat is all much better than sport seats. It's just really nice. And then when you touch it, you know, it feels nice in your foot. It's soft, man. It's soft. It feels like that one was not. I think that'll do it for this episode of Project Yucky. Good progress so far. Still gotta do a few more things in the interior. Fix the pixels, fix the dead navigation screen, the damn shocks of the trunk lid and the hood. Gotta finish up the windscreen. wipe blades, whatever else. Then we're gonna do complete rear suspension overhaul of pushing ball joints, whatever else. And then I gotta make a decision on the wheel, and I would really love to do this. An 8-speed swap. Take the 5-speed out, put the bar. The only problem is it's probably gonna take a long time to do that because a lot of custom work is required. And I kind of need a financial injection, you know? I've been spending so much money in the background on all of this. You see, we're in the new dojo. Painting has been happening. Renovation work has been happening. You can see brand new lifts from new stock. Top-notch quality. All of that is coming in the workshop build series, but yeah, I gotta see what I'm gonna do. Either sell this or project stock. One of them I'm going to keep, but I think at the end of the day, it's gonna go, and then the other one's gonna stay. So we'll see what's gonna happen. After all the mechanical work is done, the interior is done, then it's exterior time. And to my surprise, most of the paint on this car is original. The problem is it's very, very thin. I measured the paint, it's less than 20 microns, which is very difficult to remove a lot of scratches and just, you know, not very deliberate and paint. So from Gian will have to use magic on this car, just like you did on this one, for example. This one is after that is done, I think we're gonna take this car to Alpina. I gotta talk to them, and I want to do golden stripes. I think it's gonna look great on the black car, and this here it's gonna look just, you know, awesome.
Hey,
anyway, I'm really sorry for a big gap.
Where's my guy? Hey, good morning, my guy. What's up with you? How you doing today? Feel good? All right. So let's go. Brave and strong. Focus goes. And where energy flows. And where energy flows. I am. I've become. Fastest and smoothest. Now get your butt up. Get to school. Brush your teeth, wash your face, get some grub, and whoop some ass. Ready? Alright, that's what I'm talking about, man. Let's get you cracking today, alright? Alright, don't be late like you was yesterday. Is your homework done? Alright, can't show up with no homework, right? Alright, you can never show up without your homework. You gotta have the homework. You're ready? You're prepared for today? You're all prepared for today. Alright. Alright, buddy, I love you. I'll see you after school, okay? Alright.
you thinking about buying a used motorcycle?
Take all my money.
But don't want to get hosed? Ha ha! Ha ha ha! Take a beat and stop. Instead of being a freaking idiot, just don't. Set aside a few minutes and tune in. Because I want to share with you how you can avoid overpaying for a used motorcycle and avoid the common pitfalls of millions of used motorcycle shoppers around the world. I'll also show you how and why I buy motorcycles for no more than $500, but more on that later. I'm making this video so you can avoid getting stuck with an absolute piece of shit. Stupid piece of shit. With a sick paint job on it, but you probably paid way more than you should have because some jack-off knows what he's got. So don't let her pretty looks get you set up with a hurt piece of motorcycles. And that's going to have you drowning in buyer's remorse and a lifetime prescription of Valtrex. So in this video, I'm going to cover how I set my budgets, the sites I use for searching for deals, how I avoid overpaying, and how to negotiate that deal. I think you'll be especially surprised at how I avoid overpaying. But I've been buying, building, and manufacturing aftermarket parts for motorcycles for over 20 years, and I bought dozens of bikes, and I've learned a thing or two about this game the hard way. That shit sucks. So, stay tuned to learn about that stuff. Expectations. So here's kind of how this goes. You spend $500 on a bike, you can drop 3 to 5K into it to get it right. You spend 3 to 5K on a bike, drop 5 into it to get it right. Kind of the unwritten rule. Now there's variations and exceptions, yes, but if you're not prepared to drop cash for work or you can't do the work on your own, one of those options ain't for you. So let's get right into it here with the budget. Now don't worry, I'm not going to go, what's that guy's name, Dave Ramsey on your ass, but if you don't have 5K for the bike you want, wait, be patient, and save your pennies.
The life's expensive, TJ. It's hard to make it in this cold hard street.
Man, I know a lot of dudes who aren't rich, and they manage to be smart with their money and afford a good bike and good gear. Now, for starters, be a man. Cancel your OnlyFans subscription. Stop eating out. Stop buying dumbass shit like Funko Pops and boo-boo gross Dubai chocolate. Hell, don't be your girlfriend for a few months. It's a 4K savings minimum. But don't you worry, man. When she sees the clapped out Harley you just bought, she'll come run back. The truth is, buying a bike will actually cost you a lot more than you think. Because unlike cars, you gotta buy other shit. You buy a car, you just jump right in with flippy floppies, shorts, and a banana, and you're off. For a bike, you need gear. Minimum 4 helmets, boots, jacket, gloves, road tools, riding glasses, tall socks, flannels, etc. And you think that jacket's the last jacket you're gonna run? Nope. You're gonna realize it chafes your nipples over 70 miles an hour in the winter, so you're gonna need another one. That didn't happen to me. If I have 6K and I'm gonna buy a cruiser, I'll use 5K for the bike and 1K for gear at minimum. But please don't skip gloves. Shaving your palms on pavement sucks. And I'm not gonna come home and wipe your butt when your hands are healing up. I save that surface for moments. Now when it comes to this budget, the budget can actually change with different bike uses. For example, if you buy an ADV bike, you may need another 4K in panniers, brush guards, ultralight camping equipment, lighting upgrades, the Bluetooth helmet, the GPS. That's just all so you can tell your friends you went full overland twice on that 2-mile gravel road with a 3-degree grade. It's important to be realistic about what you need with the bike, not just the bike itself. Next is criteria. Know what you want before you shop. Establish what you want out of the bike. Do you want MPG? Do you want power? Are you just looking for cool sounds? Maybe you want reliability, or you need hauling power for 2-up. Obviously, looking cool is the first priority for everyone. Now, if you want MPG, get a newer bike, lower miles. You want power for 2-up, look for larger displacement bikes with room for 2 people. You want to ride dirt? Well, guess what? You need someone that's designed for dirt with capable rubber and the correct riding position. Now, if you're looking for a commuter bike, which a lot of people are, find something comfortable yet nimble. Basically decide in this whole process what you're asking of a 2-wheeled machine. And find the type of bike that matches that best. Now yes, bear in mind, something like a dual sport bike can be used for commuting, but also for dirt with dual sport tires. But a sport bike is not going to be suited to ripping up the Rubicon. Do some research. Make sure that bike can take you where you want to go. If you buy a sport bike, get a bite of a run to Vegas, your back is going to be killing you from riding in the fetal position on a Hayabusa all day in the desert. Now if you don't know exactly what you want the bike to do, or what's important to you,
lowering bad cholesterol can be hard, even with a statin. Diets and exercise add to the stress.
Now, if you don't know exactly what you want the bike to do, or what's important to you,
I don't know.
you may wind up buying a bike that doesn't suit your preference. So that, and determine what's important to you first. Then find the bike that fits that criteria. Next up, that's the actual search for the bike. But I really recommend you don't go to this stage yet until you've really got a good foundation with your expectations, your budget, and the criteria. But let's get into the searching part. So let's talk about where and how I personally start shopping online. I suggest using Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist or OfferUp, and you can just start looking for a bike or hit up the Broom Forum, TJBroomCustoms.com, where you can actually sell or use bikes. Now I use these platforms because I can search locally or a little farther away, and I can communicate with sellers pretty easily. They have a very high concentration of used bikes, and the platforms allow sellers to post a number of images, which helps me find what I'm looking for. Here is a big no-no for using these sites. Don't try and negotiate over the ad or in the chat.
Be a man.
All negotiations should be done in person.
And the scouter questions.
Fair deal. Hey, but I'll do more on that later for you. Now there's stuff like cycle traders and online marketplaces. Sure, you can see a much broader offering across the whole country, but I'm personally more comfortable with actually seeing a bike in person. In Marketplace, OfferUp, and Craigslist, they do allow for a more personal shopping space. And I get it though. There's a lot of scammers out there on sales platforms, but keep watching. I'm going to teach you a few tricks to make sure you don't get scammed. Now we're going to move on to how I determine market values so I don't get screwed. And I did say values, plural, because there are essentially 3 different values to every bike. The first value I look at is full market value. That's what the bike could be worth in its best condition. It's pretty much new. That's the maximum idiots might pay for that bike. To sell a used bike at this top price is absolutely fucking bonkers insane. Attempting to get this new price usually takes a long time to find the idiot that will overpay, and it requires a seller who's pretty much unemployed, so they're willing to do 500 showings and test rides and all the tire kickers to get those few extra dollars or not get the pride hurt. Now in this case, it's when a stubborn, delusional seller meets the rare, stupid buyer. Let's see if we can sell him a fat tire bike. Dude, never pay this top dollar price. You see a guy with a listing that's been up for 969 days and still says no lowball offers, he is clearly overpriced. The only variation to this is that he has an insanely collectible bike. The next value is fair market value. This is the price most people are paying for a bike in good condition, and thus determining what people are finding fair. Bikes usually sell in less than 30 days if they are priced accordingly in major metropolitan areas. Now maybe in a smaller town, different demand, less population means that smaller means less demand, which translates to longer listing times and quite often in usual cases lower prices. And the final value is condition adjusted market value. This is where I buy bikes. It's the fair market value. It takes to get the bike into good condition. And this is the valuing method we'll be using as our benchmark when we talk about value in this video. Now you might ask yourself, why don't I just use KBB and call it a day? They have prices for vehicles. Bro, stay off KBB. KBB, Kelly Blue Book, for those not in the know, does not take into account a number of factors that play a big part in buying a used vehicle. KBB does not take into account the condition of the bike, market fluctuations, regional market, buyer preferences, how long the bike's been, hasn't been done to it. I mean, shit, man. In the Midwest, a bike might go for $500, but in California, the same bike goes for $3K. So stay off KBB, do your own research, like you're doing now, and look at local prices. So how do we do that? Start it right now. First, I establish the high end. This method is establishing the most this bike will be worth aside from any insane upgrades, okay? Full market value, essentially. This helps you establish your high end and only really applies to bikes that are still actively being sold new from the manufacturer. For example, if you're looking for a Sportster, and Harley still makes that Sportster, and you can go see the price of a new one on Harley's website, so you wouldn't pay that price for a used one. This doesn't account for insane collectability. For instance, let's say you find Elvis Presley's 56 KH one. You ain't paying a used bike price of that thing, okay? You'll be paying what I call a collector's price. So we're not talking about this mythical realm of bike buying today. We're focusing on real-world bikes that you can afford and ride the piss out. Now, if the manufacturer no longer makes and sells the model, then you would go to the sites I shared with you earlier to establish those high-end prices. Next, you will establish your low end. Identify the oldest, shittiest condition models up for sale, the piles of crap, and see what they're generally listed for, only observing the lowest and low price. Now you've kind of got your low end. This is pretty easy to establish, however, yes, be aware of friggin' nutcases. Value training. This is my absolute favorite method for avoiding overpaying for one. Here's how it works. You know if a burger is too expensive because you've observed their prices on menus many times. You could probably identify the fair price of a burger within just a few due to your incredible awareness of the full fair market value for a burger. Everyone in the world's, well, in the US at least, this is going to be pretty much a burger value expert because the volume of value training they've done. Now, if you don't want to get screwed, then you should take the same approach. Spend a little time evaluating listing prices of that particular year, make, and model in your general geography. This is called comping, finding comparable bikes and seeing what they are listed. This only gives me an idea of what people think their bike is worth, not what people are willing to pay.
Shopping smart. Make it easy with Stitch Fix. Get outfits you love without any of the hassle. First, tell us your style, sizes, and budget.
Think their bike is worth, not what people are willing to pay. I'm gonna drop a bomb on you guys as another portion of this value training, alright? Ready? The list price is not value. I'm gonna give you a warning that is a pet peeve of mine, okay? I hear this shit all the time. It looks so soon price now. Buyers willing to pay nothing. Tasks. Often you don't get to see that number because the ad's gone. And just because someone likes a list of like 20K, no low ballers, I know what I got. You know the story. Garbage thrown into various made bins, and it's covered in cobwebs and cat poo, and it's also been for sale for 420 days. Bro, fuck that shit. Monitor them. See how quickly they sell at their listed prices. If the bike was listed for 5K and sold in one day, maybe it was underpriced, or listed by a seller in distress. Now, if the bike sold in a week or two, it was likely priced at a fair or condition-adjusted value. If it sold in more than 30 days, it is a safe bet. You got a stubborn, delusional seller who finally caved and took less than they wanted, which indicates the value is less than the listed price. Okay. Sellers, please, don't be the dude who thinks their bike's worth a damn fortune because you see people listing it for an outrageous price. The listings that were priced correctly go okay, learn the value upgrades. So, what if the bike has a bunch of custom stuff done to it? It certainly becomes harder to determine value, but not that hard. You see some sick bobber, you can almost bet that it's slightly or seriously overpriced due to ownership bias. The more work and effort someone puts in their bike, they get all delusional about the value. It often wants way more than full market value. Don't be fooled by high listing prices. Read the description, shop for the parts on the internet that they claim, and add in reasonable labor costs for what was done. I'm going to say a reasonable labor price would be $100 an hour for fabrication work, plus or minus 30 each hour, and $50 for stupid install shit like a new set of bars on. However, an idiot can kind of do that in their garage. Now, if you're having the ghost of Indian Larry install something, yeah, it's going to be like $2,000 for him to even look at your bike with a spirit round. But if you have your buddy, maybe, who has a sweet flux core welder from Daddy's farm, he might do the work for a case of beer. You can also find a shop that wants $200 an hour to change a tire. Now, if you disagree with me, you're probably underage and poor and thus wrong. Stop being poor, okay? Fuck, I didn't take my own advice there. But seriously, let me know if you think this shit's whack. What do you think the fair cost labor is? Should I even do a video on how to vet a mechanic? Is that something you'd be interested in? Let me know in those comments. Now, let's
If a strand of your hair looks like this when it's wet, this is how it should look dry. This whole time, I thought I had wavy hair that was just frizzy and damaged.
We got so much to talk about tonight. Pete Hegseth has his own battle of the bulge. The National Guard adds more tour dates, and I bet you $50 gambling is going to destroy American society. So let's get into the headlines. Let's start with America's military. Karen of the world. They just will not stay out of other countries' business. And leading this military is Pete Hegseth. You might think it's the Secretary of Defense, but you'd be wrong. He's rebranded himself the Secretary of War. You know how guys always give themselves nicknames. And as part of this military makeover, last week the Secretary announced a surprise meeting.
Tonight, in an unprecedented move, Secretary Pete Hegseth asking all U.S. general officers and admirals around the world to gather at the U.S. Marine Base in Quantico, Virginia.
A meeting of this size, in person, and on such short notice is extremely rare.
It's going to also potentially be a security risk, given the sheer number of military officials and how many are going to be gathered in one place at a time.
Listen, we all do weird things when we're drunk, okay? Some of us slide into an ex's DMs, and some of us call every U.S. general to a meeting at Quantico. But, you know, I'm sure if the Secretary is going to gather all the generals, some of them from active war zones, then he must have something very important he wants to tell them.
It's tiring to look out at combat formations, or really any formation, and see fat troops. Likewise, it's completely unacceptable to see fat generals and admirals in the halls of the Pentagon.
That's what you drag all these generals in for? To tell them they're fat? Couldn't you just leave some passive-aggressive comments on their Instagram? Like, hey, congrats, General, when are you due? I mean, this guy will text top-secret war plans, but when it comes to body shaming, he's like, I want to see their fat faces when I tell them how fat their faces are. Look, I get the military needs to be fit, okay? But in defense of fat generals, they're kind of like coaches, right? Like, coaches don't need to be fit enough to play the sport. They just have to be fit enough to date a 24-year-old. And also, there are some military positions you kind of don't want a fit soldier for. Like, I don't want a guy with six-pack abs operating a drone. He clearly hasn't had enough time and experience sitting down like this with a controller. Just go. Okay, he's dead. But telling generals they have to get on Ozempic wasn't the whole speech. America's Secretary of War had more to say than that.
No more beards, long hair.
Hear that, you goddamn hippie generals? No more beards. I'm looking at you, Admiral Lebowski. Now, according to Pete Hegseth, America's military standards are now going to be indistinguishable from a grinder profile, okay? No fatties, no facial hair, and get those ladies the out of my sight. But it's all about a much larger project of de-wokificationing.
An entire generation of generals and admirals were told that they must parrot the insane fallacy that, quote, our diversity is our strength. They had to put out dizzying DEI and LGBTQI+ statements. No more identity months, DEI offices, dudes in dresses.
Yeah, you hear that, General Doubtfire? Something very weird about that general. I just can't put my finger on it. Although, are we sure dudes wearing dresses doesn't work? Because the Taliban wore dresses, and it kind of worked for them. You know what I mean? I don't know, maybe the beards cancel out the dresses. Someone check the math on that. But this wasn't just a pep talk. Pete Hegseth, the Secretary of War, also took the opportunity to bump his book sales on Amazon.
You might say we're ending the war on warriors. I heard someone wrote a book about that.
Yeah. And that someone was here. Say what you want about Henry Kissinger. I mean, at least he never used his position to sell his book, 101 War Crimes to Try on Cambodians. But bottom line, A lot of people were worried that this event was going to show that Pete Hegseth had taken over the military. But it actually just showed how disconnected his MAGA rally energy is from their professional culture, especially this moment that he clearly thought was going to crush.
Should our enemies choose foolishly to challenge us, they will be crushed by the violence, precision, and ferocity of the War Department. In other words, to our enemies, F-A-F-O. If necessary, our troops can translate that.
Wow. Not even the leaders of the U.S. military have ever seen a line bomb that hard before. It's just kind of, it's weird and some would say juvenile to use internet slang in a speech to your adversaries. I mean, President Reagan was never like, Mr. Gorbachev, I hug to us, spit on that wall. But basically, that was Pete Hegseth's speech. F-A-F-O. And no one in the military is allowed to be fat, especially the leaders. Okay? It's a bad look.
If you live in a Michigan zip code and had 0 DUIs in the last 5 years, listen carefully.
The leaders. Okay? It's a bad look. So next up to speak was the famously thin health nut commander-in-chief, Donald Trump. And even President Trump noticed how dead the room was.
Fantastic job. I've never walked into a room so silent before.
Wow, way to throw your opening act under the bus. Who was that who was that loser, huh? I thought alcoholics were supposed to be fun. Well, if anyone can win a room back, it's President Trump, who convinced these generals there was a good reason to pull them from their posts.
I call it the N-word.
Oh shit. It's coming in hot here. Is he gonna say it? Is he gonna say anything? Is this about to happen? Is this it?
The word nuclear. You can't let people throw around that word.
Oh. Okay, the N-word is nuclear. Okay, but that's a weird way to say it, since there's also kind of another word that we famously refer to as the N-word.
There are 2 N-words and you can't use either of them. You can't use either of them. And frankly, if it does get to use, we have more than anybody else. We have better, we're newer.
Wait, are we still talking about nuclear or the other one? I just want to make sure. Look, I'm sure the gathering extended riff on the N-word, but let's maybe wrap this up before it gets
San Francisco, Chicago, New York, Los Angeles. They're very unsafe places, and we're going to straighten them out one by one. And this is going to be an aging war for some of the people in this room. That's a war too. It's a war from within. I told people we should use some of these dangerous cities as training grounds for our military, national military. This is going to be a big thing for the people in this room, because it's the enemy from within. We have to handle it before it gets out of control.
Okay. You know what? Can we just go back to talking about the N-word, okay? Because this seems worse. So is that what this whole thing was about? Giving these generals the marching orders for war against American cities? That's some pretty dark and scary shit from the president and the secretary of war. I mean, no, stop with no. Not now. No shredding. Shredding for good stuff only, not bad stuff. Look, I've only officially been American for like a few hours now, but even I know that using American cities as a training ground for the military is kind of messed up, and I don't think that's what American soldiers signed up to do. So if you're going to rope them into your authoritarian fantasies, at the very least, you should at least change the recruitment act.
Your great-grandfather fought Hitler. Your grandfather fought the communists. And now you'll be called upon to take on America's greatest enemy, Portland. If you're a tough young man with 0% body fat, the U.S. Army wants to shave you clean. Then we'll fly you to hostile lands like New York and Chicago, where you'll defend America from people who make fun of our president. We're packing full German Panthers. You'll fight this guy and that one, and anyone with a nose ring. When history calls, you will send it to voicemail because you're shaving while you wait for Antifa. You'll keep busy by picking up trash. Then clear out a homeless can, another homeless can, and then clear out the first one again. Then a quick clean-up shave and back to your post. Wait, did you get your pen? Quick shave and we're back. Do you have what it takes to defeat hordes of demonic agents of chaos? Then join the Department of War today. Strength, honor, integrity, no fatties. Because we want you. Shave that man.
Still have more than half of them, we consider it to be a success. So
tonight, I'm going to be watching the games tonight. It's game one of the American League Wild Card Series. And the Red Sox, two bitter rivals, New York versus Boston, two great American cities. The winner goes on to the divisional series. Loser gets invaded by the National Guard. It is a moment away from a government shutdown, which is just great. Democrats want Republicans to agree to continue funding the Affordable Care Act, whereas Republicans want to use that money to add crab legs to the omelet station at Mar-a-Lago. Trump is threatening to make irreversible cuts if they're shut down, which, you know what, I was recently the victim of a government shutdown. They are reversible, I will tell you that. The government does get shut down. As of tomorrow, active duty members of the military and National Guard will be required to serve without pay, so they must have been especially called to a mandatory meeting with our Secretary of War / weekend host of Fox and Friends, Hegseth, today. The top military leaders were pulled off the front lines in Portland and Washington, D.C., and summoned to Quantico for a pep talk with Pete. Should our enemies choose foolishness, they will be crushed by the violence, precision, and ferocity of the War Department. In other words, to our enemies, F-A-F-O. He's so awesome. You know? It's F-A-F-O Schwarzkopf. That was some speech. Usually when a big group of people gather in a room for Pete Hegseth, it's an intervention. But this was a no-mercy type of affair. Hegseth said, we're getting rid of DEI in the military, we're getting rid of dudes in dresses. He said there will be no more beardos, which is what weird people call men with beards. And just as it said on Pete's Tinder profile, no fatties allowed.
Frankly, it's tiring to look out at combat formations, or really any formation, and see fat troops. Likewise, it's completely unacceptable to see fat generals and admirals in the halls of the Pentagon and leading commands around the country and the world. It's a bad look. It is bad, but it's not.
Said our new military will bring back new focus on fitness. I love the idea that Trump is lecturing these guys on fitness. I mean, if that isn't the fondue pot calling the kettle fat, I don't know what is. Listen up, generals. I want to make something very clear. The Pillsbury dope president wants to do Pilates. Push up from the side of an ice cream truck. If you get so fat you start breaking escalators, you are unfit to serve in the military. Fantasy is more powerful than reality in this magosphere we live in, which meant it was time for our...
I don't think so. No, I don't think I'll be able to pick you up from school, but I'll be able to see you after school. All right? I don't know what time, but I'll let you know when I get there, okay? All right, have a great day, buddy. I love you. Get the points from the teacher. All right, man. Make sure you eat something. Brush your teeth. Don't go to school and get your mouth. You got pictures tomorrow, too. Yeah, pictures days tomorrow. Where's your mom at? Hey, put his belt with his clothes for tomorrow. You don't know where that belt is, do you? Okay. Alright, put his belt with his clothes for tomorrow. And yeah, make sure his teeth are brushed. Something this morning. Alright, bye-bye. Brave strong?
This video is sponsored by AG1, and AG1 is a one-stop shop for vitamins, minerals, stress adaptogens, digestive support, and much more. Now, some of y'all know I recently had twin boys, so my life has been nothing but busy. With the added stress and less time to cook, I'm using AG1 for immune health and to boost my energy. AG1 gives me my full spectrum of vitamins and minerals, even if I'm missing them in my diet from ordering takeout. For me, it's a part of my daily ritual. I get in here to Strengthside HQ, drop a scoop in with water, and sip it while I do some morning reading. And I definitely get a nice boost of energy to go about training and making videos. You can head to my link in the description below to get a free 1-year supply of AG vitamin D3, plus 5 AG1 travel packs with your first purchase of AG1. Back to the rope.
Hey there, Strengthside fans. Tim here from Way the Rope, and today I'm going to take you through the two most fundamental captains of rope flow. You don't even need a rope flow like this block to do. You can do it with a dog lead, or what most of you might already have, a resistance band like this. You're just going to hold it with two hands to one side. You're going to swing it overhand motion like so. So as you swing it past your leg, it should be kind of going from the toe to the heel, and just get a feel for the object that you're swinging bob with it. Because the difference with this and jump roping, as the rope comes down, the legs up, and the body kind of compresses, whereas with this, you want to reach the legs and the arms to sink and rise as one system, one unit. To evolve from this, as the rope comes down on one swing, you just chop it over to the other side of the body, kind of like throwing a kayak. This pattern also relates to throwing as well. So a few swings on each side until you feel confident to just go back and forth, and we call this figure of 8, which is kind of like tracing the infinity symbol with
customized and safe liquid neutral.
So that's why the people see it?
Yes. The evil has a name. Only paying for it.
Liberty, 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 liberty. Cut!
Yo, Spike, you have something to say. You have to say it loud. This $double shot is devised with the Orion's initiative.
I am selling my house and losing probably about $20,000.
Just got a call from the realtor that people buying our house may be backing out.
If your home's not selling, it's overpriced. The buyers determine the value.
So, with the housing market being where it is right now, we are starting to see a lot of people struggle to sell their homes. Whether it's because they had the flipping mindset and they bought at the peak of the market a couple years ago, or maybe the actual cost of owning a home is way more than they initially thought when they saw the monthly mortgage payment. They decide to sell the house and move, but buyers are not there right now. We have a lot of different examples to go over today, along with comments from you guys from previous videos. So if you want to be featured on a future video, leave in the comments down below. But let's just jump right into it.
I am selling my house and losing probably about $20,000, maybe more, but let's hope not. I'm sharing this with all of you because I have heard, oh, that never happens. People never lose money on the sale of a house. That's not true, especially if you purchased your house in 2022 or 2023 at the height of the market. I think if you're selling your house right now, depending on what market you're in, you might be facing something similar, and I've seen a lot of people talk about that. But buying a house in 2023 or building a house like we did was what we thought was the best decision.
There's a little bit to add on to that. It is new construction. If you watch any of my previous videos talking about it, there are more and more people, including myself, that are very iffy on buying something that's brand new. The quality just doesn't seem to be there. On top of building it at the peak of the market, it's pretty unlikely that you're going to make money or break even at this time in 2025. Some of the comments when they say investment, they aren't expecting you to sell in 2 to 3 years. If you sell 1 to 2 years after, unfortunately, any gains that you've had are eaten up by realtor fees. People don't consider those fees when it's time to sell. So it's starting to sound like much more of a flipper mentality. Like any investment, you have to know when to hold and when to sell. I sold my house in Charlotte last month. I bought it for $310,000 in 2023 and sold it for $295,000. Thankfully, I didn't have to pay anything at closing, but sucked for sure. A comment from you guys that goes along with the new construction build. The first thing I do when scrolling through real estate listings is anything in an HOA field, and if there is anything in that box, no matter the merits of the house, I keep scrolling. I do the exact same thing. So that does also cut out a lot of the new construction builds, and you'll have an even smaller pool of clientele who are willing to buy the house today.
The story went viral on Reddit about a homeowner in Colorado who listed their house after 45 days with a single showing. TLDR, they bought the house for just under $540K and they put almost $30,000 more into it. Now they started that listing at $540K and they've already cut it down to $520. They still owe $475,000 on the house, and they know they're going to lose money, but they don't want to lose even more for YouTube fees. And then she says that they've been also building a new house out of state that they paid for, and it's going to be done in September, so they need to sell this house. Now it sounds like they're stretched way too thin.
Statement. Already building another home while you're actively losing money on the first one? A little bit more context with the comment section. The problem is that the house is in Wellington, Colorado. It's Wellington, duh. It's in Wellington. There's nothing in Wellington. No one wants to live there unless there's no other option. So on top of the high housing prices, the high interest rates, location is of course a big factor as well, and it sounds like whoever made this post is going to lose a lot of money.
Dallas homes appear to be extremely overpriced, but maybe if they drop 40%, they'll start selling. This woman says, I sold my home last year in Dallas. I had to reduce my price several times, but it did sell. She says, I hope to pick up a good deal once people realize they need to reduce their list prices. Dallas housing supply is through the roof. We're talking 60% more inventory than normal. This is great news for DFW home buyers like us because there's the most selection that the market has had since the tail end of the last downturn in 2011-2012. But great news for buyers typically means bad news for sellers. This person says, good, it's about time for a price correction. Prices need to drop 30 to 40%, if not more, because everyone thinks their home is $500,000 to $750,000 in the North Dallas area.
updates or maintenance. It's wild out here. As a homeowner, I hope the market crashes. I'm tired of spending crazy high property taxes that's based on unrealistic home value. Another issue coming up right there. Along with Austin and places in Florida, one of the very popular areas that got built up very quickly during the COVID era when people were moving and spending outrageous money on homes. But now people don't have that kind of money, and we're starting to see the real estate market swing to the buyers, which in turn brings in examples like this with buyers demanding a lot more if they do want to sign on the dotted line.
I just bet about selling a home. Our house has been on the market for 9-10 months. We're supposed to close tomorrow. And these people, the request of things is like outrageous. They want a credit towards future issues. Like the stone on the outside, they want 13 grand to fix the stone if something happens. They want us to redo the cement on the side of our house that we just put in to build stairs. We just put in a golf cart path and now they want stairs, but they want us to do it and us to pay for it. Are these outrageous requests or are these help?
Okay, so the credit for possible future issues, I'm not sure if her house is brand new or older. Again, if it is new construction, I kind of understand a bit more because there's truly unlimited amount of examples online showing that these houses are made of basically paper mache. But again, I don't know the year her house was built, but a lot of people in the comments are saying the same thing. They're making those requests because it's been listed for so long, 9-10 months. That's someone taking advantage of the home being on the market for a long time. They must believe that you're desperate to sell. Maybe she is, maybe she isn't, but in my opinion, if I see a listing of the home that's been up for 200, 250 days, I immediately think that there must be a problem with the house. Why hasn't it sold? Either legitimate damage or problems with the house, or just being overpriced in general.
So, update on the house. The realtor just told us, I thought that we would be, so we bought this house for $350. I thought we'd be able to sell it for $4. Sorry, I just drank some carrot juice. We put so much money into renovations into this house. Thousands and thousands, tens of thousands of dollars. I thought that would be able to go towards the house, but we can only sell it for $355. So I basically lost my inheritance. My dad made like $40,000 and I put it all into the house. That's about how much money we're losing, so.
The best advice I ever got around owning a home is that it isn't an investment, it's a place to live. I agree with that more and more now. Your mortgage payment is still like rent, and if you get money when you sell, it's a plus. Real estate is a long-term game. You're not losing, you're moving too fast. There's no one in the world who would have told you to buy a house for $350 and sell it for $400 while also putting thousands, apparently tens of thousands of dollars into it. It doesn't make any sense at all. Sounds like it was overpriced when we bought it, possibly again during the peak a few years ago. Too many people making a quick buck in the game, they don't know how the pieces move. So I mean, if you were anywhere in the financial space around COVID time, especially 2020 when a lot of us were stuck in our house, there was so much content of everybody saying, you gotta buy property, start your real estate portfolio, you'll just be racking in money so quickly. And it kind of sounds like that got a little bit out of hand with people's cash offers over asking. Now we're seeing somewhat of a correction. I'm not saying that we're back to normal. Houses are wildly affordable still, but we're not in the same era where you buy a house and make a ton of money flipping it in a year.
A lot of people who bought homes over the past few years thought they were making a really smart financial decision because they had FOMO, the fear of missing out, the fear of wondering, am I ever going to be able to buy a house if I don't buy one now? And fast forward 2 or 3 years later, now that a lot of people made that decision, it's really coming back to haunt a lot of people. You're seeing countless stories.
Get more for less with Tim Hortons $1, $2, $3 menu. Order any size beverage and add a favorite, like a donut. I don't care, but what do you think it looks like? This is the neighborhood. I can walk around at 3 a.m. I can't walk around at 3 a.m. before work. I don't care what it looks like. Like, doesn't mean you can attack me out of nowhere. Like, Jesus Christ. No, we didn't attack you out of nowhere. Yes, you did. We gave you a lawful order. No! Shut up!
Welcome back to Leading People University. My name is Abaya Israel, former police officer and former sheriff's deputy. When I received this video that we're about to watch, I immediately had to skip it to the front of the list to cover. I received tons of videos. This
out to be, because what's going to happen in this video, I myself am guilty of every single day, and I'm sure many of you may be as well. We have a young man who simply walked around his own neighborhood. Yes, it's 3 o'clock in the morning, but there is no law that says you cannot walk around your neighborhood simply because it's early morning. And apparently him and the security officer, they don't see eye to eye. And the security officer calls the police, and we're going to look at what type of policing job. Well, you guys know how it goes. This is the Palm Beach Gardens Police, located in Palm Beach County, Florida. Let's check this out.
Right there. Right there. Just over right on the corner. He's just went around the corner towards that house. Tommy Jordan's West Farm right now. Hold up wherever you're at. Yeah, just stand wherever you're at. 12 and 10, 12, 15, 11. We had a call for you going around checking, down on your knees. Yep, stand where you're at. Down on your knees. Where you're at. What the am I doing? Oh my God, bro!
So we see this man was pushed to the ground in literally 3 seconds. So get on the ground and you can count down 3, 2, 1. He was on the ground. That's very important. Based on the charges, the trumped up charges they're going to apply, we'll talk about later. But many officers treat detainments as if they are arrest. All right, if you have a legal reason to detain, there's no reason, if there's no threat to your safety or anything of that matter, there's no reason to roughhouse someone, throw them in handcuffs, and treat them as if they're already guilty. But again, we understand, you know, it's guilty until proven innocent, and that's exactly what happened in this case. But just notice how fast they went hands-on. This guy is still confused about what's even happening, and the next thing he knows, he's on the ground. The Supreme Court case, Florida versus JL, is a case where the Supreme Court...
Time to fuel up. Davlots, good morning. Let's get some work done. Fuel up, fuel up. Fuel up, fuel up. There's my car. Huh?
You going home today, right? Yeah. I'll do it when I get home.
Shit.
Supreme Court case Florida versus JL is a case where the Supreme Court ruled that officers just can't stop you because they got a call. Okay, yes, there's a security guard who's calling about this individual, but according to the Supreme Court case, that caller must have reliable information, predictive information that will allow the police to test to see if what they're being told is factual. And even in such cases, when you have now the right to detain again, you don't treat the detainment as if it's an arrest by slamming the person to the ground and later finding out if they're innocent or if they're guilty. You don't know. This only gives you enough room or space to investigate.
We got your comment. Does that mean you want to order?
You don't know. This only gives you enough room or space to investigate.
Oh my God! When I tried to get down, you get down. What am I doing? What am I doing? What am I doing?
Get whooping his ass.
What am I doing, bro?
Can't see one of his own neighborhood. Our security guard was not like you.
Bro, what am I doing? Why can't you guys just keep telling me, bro? You're being
Damn, that's what I should have did.
Attempted burglary.
Sorry.
Yeah. What?
Vehicle. I need your help.
Okay, so what's attempted burglary? Of course you do. Hey, what? Hey, I thought you told me to stand up. Nobody told you to stand up. My bad. Just calm down, bro. Jesus, that's not helping. No, nobody told you to stand up. Shut the fuck up, bro. Good job, buddy. Attempted burglary. You're right. Yep. What is attempted burglary?
All right, real quick. I'm required to warn you before you make any statements that the following constitutional rights. 1, you have the right to remain silent and not answer any questions. 2, any statement you make must be freely and voluntarily given. 3, you have the right to the presence and representation of a lawyer of your choice before you make any statements during any questioning. 4, if you cannot afford a lawyer, you're entitled to the presence and representation of a court-appointed lawyer before you make any statements during any questioning. 5, if at any time during the interview, you do not wish to answer any questions, you're privileged to remain silent. 6, I can make no threats or promises to make a statement. This must be of your own free will.
So you just get a call and you got jumped?
In the coat.
Any statements can be and will be used against you in the court of law. Do you understand these threats that were
What happened?
But like, what's attempted?
You gotta move the TV.
I heard you. All right.
The TV over.
Cool.
You gotta pull down a little strap on the left. Yeah, pull it down.
Like, is this because I was looking in my car for
You gotta do
something?
it at the same time.
Looking more than just in your car, apparently.
Literally 2 fucking cars.
Yeah, why are you looking at 2 cars?
My cars. That I own, yes.
Cool. We're figuring this out. We got a call from security about someone matching your
Bro, this guy harasses me. That's the probably dude who called you, bro. I got work soon. I got work soon. He's attacking me, bro.
Stop.
Turn your light on. This is so fucking retarded.
Do you have an ID on you?
No.
What's your first name?
What crime have I committed? Right now? You're arrest for Alan Pig. Loitering in front. And then that's not what. Okay. Oh wow. Okay. Wow. All right. Take him to the car. Yeah.
First, they were stating they were going to charge him with attempted burglary, and then it changed to loitering because this guy was walking around his own neighborhood. And the reason this one stuck out to me because literally just last night or early this morning, about 2:30 in the morning, about 30 minutes, short before 3 a.m., I myself left my home, which is in my neighborhood, of course, and I went to the gym. So what if I was walking outside of my home and I also checked sprinklers before I left because I have a schedule to go at 2 a.m. So what if the police would have just pulled up and they saw me outside near my car looking at my grass, I'm looking at my grass to see why are my sprinklers not working? Well, good thing I just had them on the wrong time.
Thank you, ma'am.
The point is this. I myself could have been in this situation, and so could you, simply by overzealous police because they got a call. I got a call crap in at some point, but unfortunately, it doesn't look like it will end anytime soon.
Jesus, bro, a dude fucking tackles me out of nowhere, bro.
showed you that was the car. Yeah, but yeah, that's a okay. So I know for a fact. So
over here. If we figure out where he lives, then we'll run the cars over there. Yes.
Paper towel, please.
Why don't they decide the first vehicle? A white car. They're right there.
Why are we walking over the 15th turnstile? What's on the way over here that you need to check out?
Oh no, nothing over here. I was literally just walking and that there was just following. I wasn't doing shit, bro.
Have you heard about what's going on in this community? There's been several cars stolen, a bunch of vehicle burglaries.
Something they can prevent. That's not me. I don't care, but
what do you think it looks like?
This is my neighborhood. I can walk around at 3 a.m. I can't walk around at 3 a.m. before work. I don't care what it looks like. Like, doesn't mean you tackle me out of nowhere. Like, Jesus Christ.
No, we didn't tackle you out of nowhere.
Yes, you did. We
gave you a lawful order.
No, you didn't. Shut the fuck up. Shut up. I don't care. Oh my God, bro. Shut the fuck up. You don't have to shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. I don't care, bro. I don't care. Go investigate. 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 Are you a retard? Go investigate. Are you a mom?
If you live in a Michigan zip code and had 0 DUIs in the last 5 years,
hey, go investigate. Are you a retard? Go investigate. Are you a mom? Go investigate.
As soon as we got cops on them, we got them situated.
Good job.
Yeah.
Because in order for him to dispel our suspicion, we have to read him 24 first.
Yep.
Alright. So security says 3 to 4 cars.
3 to 4 cars?
Yep.
Alright.
That fucking road, boy!
Can we just get to the end? Is the end or not?
So at this point, just take it over.
The police, they be prolonging this shit out. They're to my nerves. I couldn't be a police. They must get paid by the hour or something. I would be done in under 30
Well, obviously, plus tomorrow, if there's any 21s, we've got a suspect. We've got a suspect. Alright, I'll release the 15 email.
Hey, did he run around the corner and saw you?
I pulled up, he looked at me, kept walking this way, went around there, and then I confirmed that security, hey, white male, blue shirt, black pants, and that's what I took off.
On June 21st of 2023, this year,
Your white ass on the
judge
ground.
dropped all charges. However, she did order the man to pay court costs, $100 fine, court costs, $100 fee.
Why should he have to pick up what?
All charges were dropped. Also, resisting arrest charge, and they tried to back onto this. And that was due to earlier in the video where we saw them throw the man on the ground, yelling at him, saying, hey, get down on the ground. And literally 3 seconds after that, they throw him down. So they claimed or alleged that he was resisting arrest. If you listen to the female sergeant in this video, you will hear her say, hopefully we will have 21s. And I'm guessing 21s in their 10 code language is burglaries. Our 10 code language was different. So I'm guessing this is burglary. It fits. So she's hoping that someone's car was broken into so that they can have evidence. She's literally hoping that the neighbors or the citizens in that community will have this broken into so that they can have a legal and valid arrest. Rather than wishing, hey, I'm hoping that we are wrong because we don't want to arrest you. But this is what we hear in the video. And notice charges from attempted burglary because there was no evidence whatsoever. Reason the charges were just thrown out. It goes from attempted burglary to loitering and prowling. Okay, so it goes from attempted burglary to loitering and prowling. Why? Because loitering and prowling is much easier to pin than attempted burglary. Now, but even with that being said, if it's loitering and prowling, the police were supposed to give him opportunities to dispel their suspicion, which, if you watch the video, they literally came out, screamed at him, and then immediately he's tackled to the ground. So, bitch. Like anyone else, I would be just as upset as he is. And again, you know, I literally was outside at 2:30 a.m. myself, and if this was me, I'm pretty sure I would be furious. But they did not give him that opportunity to dispel their suspicion. He's immediately in cuffs, which this is not a detainment. You've already arrested him, you know, and so, you know, detainments again are not supposed to be treated like arrest. The sergeant, the male sergeant, he asked the question to the other officer, well, did he run? Why did he ask that question? Is because if he ran, then that would give them legal grounds for arrest, loitering and prowling, and so on. But the officer responded, no, he did not run, but he did turn back. He saw it was me. He kept walking. Remember, there were no police. You only see headlights. I saw headlights in the morning. One of the neighbors. I look back, I see headlights, I continue to walk. So that doesn't fit either. And if you pay attention,
throw that little shade in there.
Mug, a coffee mug in his left hand, he has his phone in his right hand.
That nigga got a cup of coffee. You're out here prowling with a cup of coffee and barefoot.
To look for something in his vehicle as he's preparing to work. And at that point, the security.
I'm in the car.
Yeah. So he's.
Oh, okay.
That's what they say. It's not illegal. So none of what the police did in this video.
You haven't taken a walk with a cup of coffee and pajama pants.
They report police don't their word, and we know how that will end. Make sure you always report the police.
Killer cam, killer cam, killer cam, killer cam.
¿Qué tal, amigos? Bienvenidos a la nueva edición de Esto es MLS.
A Miguel nadie lo entendemos. Gracias por tenerme aquí, por la invitación. No, para mí fue...
Welcome back to It Is What It Is. This episode is sponsored by Underdog. If you're new to Underdog, get $100 in bonus funds when you play just $5 with code It Is What It Is. Underdog is live in more than 30 states, including Georgia, Texas, and Missouri, just to name a few. So make sure y'all support the show, lock in your bonus, and start playing today with code It Is What It Is. I'm Treasure Wilson, aka Stat Baby, along with your hosts, Mace and Cam.
Bengal colors, huh?
I figure you thought you had something up your sleeve.
Listen, man, I'm gonna be totally honest with you, man. I didn't feel good about what I did yesterday, man.
You didn't?
Man, I felt whack, man. You know, Stat, I watched the video. Stat was disappointed in me.
Yeah.
I was disappointed.
The switch up was crazy for you.
Yeah, man, because I didn't. Yeah, for me. He said you'll come around one of these days. I understand you're already there, but I just felt really, really bad, man. So as much as, and listen, DJ Drama, and listen, mad people like Cam, welcome, about time, you know. Dipset Bird, Rita Bird, the Eagle. I said, yeah, but I felt bad, man. And to be totally honest with you, Stat, I told you I had a backup plan for the Eagle, for for the Bengals, man.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna get them on the right track, man. That's what I'm gonna do. So Nick, let's go to the video real quick. This is what I got lined up for the Bengals right here.
Yeah, killer guys. Yeah. Yo, why is he throwing his hip out like that?
It's Dak Prescott, nigga. Shit. I'll be there Friday, man. Yeah.
That's why is he moving his hip like that?
Come on. Yeah, Mo, you see.
Your back foot was planted.
I ain't want this, man. Jamar Chase, I'm on the way, y'all. I'm on the way, man. I'm telling you, man.
Yeah.
Mo, I'm back in Ohio, nigga. I'm on the way back, man.
Oh, my goodness. That was a good... Throwing your hip out like that.
I don't know if y'all watch that. I was just about to say Dak Prescott actually got that from me. If y'all ever showed warm up, you seen old footage of what I used to do when I was playing during high school. There's a couple VHS tapes out there, man. I'm back home, y'all. I'm gonna go down with this shit.
So you used to play quarterback?
I played a few different positions. Of course, running back, quarterback, receiver. If we had a decent quarterback, I would have played receiver. If we didn't have a decent quarterback, I played quarterback. If I could do it to myself, I would have.
Are we good with the taste? How are you feeling about it?
Yeah, I'm all for it. He's back home in Ohio, so I'm all for it. Yeah, thank you, Mo, man. I appreciate that, man. Good seeing you, man. Matter of fact, we didn't even give Mo a proper introduction today. Welcome back to the show, Mo. It's good seeing you, man.
Yeah.
That Ohio State red tie on. I see what's going on, baby. How you doing? All is well. Consistent with the suits this season. Real consistent, man. Looking good, sharp, man. Yeah, thank you.
I will say real quick, Papa Stat was not happy about the switch up either. He was like, really? We don't do that over here?
Yeah.
He was mad. I'm like, what?
Well, listen.
Yeah, there was a lot of people offended.
Yeah, well, I felt bad about it myself. That's most importantly. But what I will say is this to Papa Stat and Stat, I don't know if Mama Stat, if that's her team or not. There's a lot of switching up y'all within the organization. Not necessarily team. Y'all get mad at coaches, quarterbacks aren't tall enough. Y'all don't underappreciate players. I'm not gonna say y'all leave the organization, but the betrayal within the organization is wild, Papa Stat, and Stat for that matter.
Yeah, and I have to agree, Papa Stat. You guys do a lot of this, and it's flowing down to your offspring.
Some of the things all morning, huh? All morning. And you just wake up and just choose violence today. That's what we doing?
That don't happen all the time.
All right.
Well, like Kim said, Maurice, glad to have you back on the show. We're going to actually start with the Browns. So they're expected to bench Joe Flacco and start rookie Dylan Gabriel moving forward, getting with Sunday's overseas game against Minnesota. So, Maurice, how do you see this going? Sunday's overseas game against Minnesota. So, Maurice, how do you see this going?
Well, I got two things to say about it. One, I'm happier that they get closer to at least consider putting Shador in the game. You know, you got to put Dylan Gabriel in there to see what he has. You know, they obviously drafted him before him, even though, you know, everybody thought that Shador should have been the guy to go early in the draft. But, you know, it is what it is, no pun intended. But I think that they were actually waiting for Joe Flacco to get to the gauntlet or stop the schedule, pull the schedule up and see who they played the first 4 games. I was thinking about this earlier in the week, but I seen it. And I think that they didn't want to shake the young guys' confidence, either Dylan Gabriel or Shador. But I think that you're getting closer to just seeing Shador, and you have to let things play out with Dylan Gabriel. And hopefully he does, you know, decent. But all in all, I want to see Shador, you know, get out there and, you know, bring all the city out and bring the fans out and so on and so forth. And so I'm happy for it. You know, because we get closer to seeing my man Shador Sanders.
Yeah, I think we all will have similar takes on this one right here. I think no matter what's going on right now, this is what happens when you try to avoid the inevitable. Everybody knows that when it's all said and done, Shedeur is going to end up the quarterback of this Browns team. And not only is he going to be the quarterback of this Browns team, I think the way all of this has been set up, Mo, is for Shedeur to have a phenomenal career. I think this was perfect. This was the perfect storm to put his back against the wall, for that Sander name to come out of him, pause, and for him to have a hell of a career. I mean, I think he's going to have a great, great career. And I think these are all of the things that was necessary to pull out the intangibles that he had and to cause him to be focused and to be hungrier than ever. And I think when he gets his shot, it's just going to be no looking back. And I want to be on record of saying that, because I'm going to be the first one to say it. I don't need everybody else to jump on the bandwagon and say, man, I knew that was going to happen. No, sometimes you have to put the back against the wall and do everything possible, but the cream always rises to the top. Pause.
Well, we don't have some takes. That's absolutely not my take. I think that personally, that Joe Flacco is going to still be the number 2. I don't know for a fact. Murder and Maurice could be 100% right. This is my personal opinion. Yeah, no, I'm just, like I said, I'm right.
I do.
You know, I haven't known the first 2 weeks. I'm just saying. Oh, with the Chiefs, we're going to get it. But what I was going to, the reason I'm saying this is that I believe that Joe Flacco, because I don't think that the league, or not the league, teams specifically think that he should be starting. Just the scenario that they were in this season, the quarterback scenario. I think that they think he's a great backup quarterback. 2 years ago, he was Deshaun Watson back. He did great. Last year, he was the backup in Indianapolis. He just so happened to fall into the starting spot. This year with the Cleveland, before they put Shedeur into. That's just my opinion. You know, it isn't a single foul line when 1 goes, then 2 goes, then 3 goes. Joe Flacco could be very well back to number 2 and keep Shedeur at 3. So that's what I think is going to happen. We'll see how Gabriel does and what that means for the Browns. But my personal suggestion is this. If I cannot save the Cincinnati Bengals, Shedeur can. I think Shedeur should come over to the Cincinnati Bengals. My personal opinion. One of my niggas actually told me about the trouble. I don't know if it's Jory or Isaiah. One or the other, they was telling me yesterday, and I'm like, you know what? That makes all the sense in the world. We don't got shit to lose. We have nothing to lose. Browning is stinking it up. We don't even know who the fuck banging Browning up. Joe Burrow is not coming back to a minimum of December, if that. Shedeur is ready now. Cincinnati is ready now. We don't have to wait to see what Gabriel does. We don't have to play the mind game to see if Joe Flacco is the number 2 quarterback and number 3. Make the deal. Get it done. Get them there the week after next. That's what I want to make.
That's a question.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so what do you think that, do you think Cleveland really wants to put up with the noise all year of not even giving him a shot if Dylan Gabriel goes out there in trouble?
The thing about it is Cleveland, look, Mo, this is your team. Y'all come to games with paper bags over your head. Y'all are not used to greatness. Y'all not used to winning. Y'all come in with the fans literally, man, I'm not exaggerating, wear brown bags, for my lion over their head. That's what they do. So I don't think the organization is really saying put up with the noise of not answering. Like, y'all been dealing with a bunch of bullshit forever. I think that what you're saying and should be correct. I'm not disagreeing on principle of my principle that should do it next. I'm just saying the history of the organization doesn't say should do us next. Let's just get them down the road to Cincinnati where he can possibly play the week after next. Jamar Chase and Higgins, they gonna fuck these boys' numbers up. Did you see the frustration on Jamar Chase's face yesterday, Mo? I don't know if you've seen the game or night the day before yesterday. Listen, man, these players have guaranteed contracts for a certain amount, so I'm just using round numbers. If you got a $150 million guarantee, a $150 million contract, and 100 million is guaranteed, and 50 million is based off incentives, murder. And part of the incentives is you got to score, get 90 yards per game to get a bonus of $8 million. You got to have 7 catches every 2 games to get a bonus of so-and-so amount of dollars. These niggas know they not getting that. Not with Brown. They know, yo, you fucking the bonus money up. Them niggas get their bonus money, man. I can't stick up for you, Brown, no more. Listen, hopefully things will change. But as far as to answer your question, Mo, what do we expect from the Rams? I mean, like you said, I did what you saying, like, yo, that's fucked up, you're not putting Shador. Yo, that's fucked up, you're not doing nothing. Yeah. Yo, bro, that went on all preseason. It was hysteria when they moved him to 3rd string. You know what I'm saying? Because he had a couple good preseason games, and then even they pulled him out of one of the preseason games after
for the last one.
Right, and he was upset. He's like, yo, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying he could walk right into a situation that's ready now. Right now, there's nothing to lose at this point. Now, Cleveland, we gotta wait till this Gabriel shit happen. We don't know if Joe Flacco is gonna be number 2, but to you and Murder's point, he could be next. Which I'm saying that. What I'm saying is that y'all are incorrect, but we just don't know what the Cleveland Browns organization. Think about this, right? Who's you guys wide receivers with the Cleveland Browns, Mo?
Who are they?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Look at this. Look at this. Exactly.
This your team, Mo.
Look at this. This
is crazy, Mo.
Listen, that's an even better answer.
I could have tried something crazy.
Listen, no, Mo, I like that. I love that answer, but that's your team and you don't know. Now think about that, right? And think about walking into Cincinnati with Jamar Chase on the left and T. Higgins on the right. What? He can't, even if he can't lose.
But where does this put you at, Cam? What could be on you if Shador comes?
I'll be QB2 if he don't come. I don't mind being QB2.
Right.
Yeah, I'm QB2. I'm being some QB2. I'm just going in case they don't make it happen. In case they don't make it happen. Browning is after me first.
At this point, yeah. Okay, so we've had a constant conversation about whether teams are legit or not, whether the first couple weeks matter. So I kind of want to put this to the test, and we can compare earlier on as the weeks go by looking at the first place teams in their division right now. And I want you guys to tell me if you think they're legit or not.
Wait.
So let's start with the AFC. The Bills, do you think they're legit or not?
Tasks come out on Sundays?
Legit.
Yep. Wow.
Cool.
Not just in the division, I think right now the Bills are the best team in the AFC.
Okay. NFC East, we got the Eagles, Maurice.
Calling a lawyer is absolutely something a person should do if they've been hurt. When you've been hurt in an accident, your bills don't stop.
Okay. NFC East, we got the Eagles, Maurice.
Yeah, same legit.
What did you say?
Eagles.
Yeah, they're legit. And the reason I say the Bills is because they always get right there. You know, it's history. Like Killer was talking about the Browns.
Yeah, the question was right now this week.
I know.
Yeah. Now, week 4, I have to agree. The Eagles, yes, absolutely.
Okay, the AFC West, the Chargers, Maurice.
No, I'm not a believer.
No, the second place team is the best team.
I like the Chargers. I'm going to say believer.
Okay. NFC West, we got the 49ers.
No, I don't believe the 49ers right now.
Absolutely not.
That's a tough one. The reason why I'm saying that's tough is because I'm looking at the division. I don't believe in the Seattle Seahawks. I don't know if I necessarily believe in the Los Angeles Rams. I don't believe in the Arizona Cardinals. We had talked about their history. So if I'm thinking from a division standpoint, I'm going to say I'm believers because I believe that they can win that division and make it to the playoffs.
Okay. AFC North, you know, we got the Steelers, Maurice.
Stat. Reluctantly. Yes, I actually believe in my man Aaron Rodgers this year.
Yeah, I definitely believe that. I think this may be the best chance that the Steelers had in a very long time. So I'm gonna go yes.
Hell no. Baltimore should still catch them niggas. And if I step into play, Shador, we definitely catching them niggas. Mike Tomlin, 500. That's the successful season we waiting on for the Steelers to get. Nah, fuck that. Nah, I don't believe in them niggas.
It's just you and Shador versus everybody. Like, you just put yourself into the equation. He's like, me and Shador? Yeah. Like, what?
No, what I'm saying is I said that. But what I said is, if I didn't put this in phrase, I said that I believe the Ravens can catch them, but that's predicated on if Lamar Jackson is not too hurt.
Okay. NFC North, the Lions, Maurice.
Oh, unbeliever. I'll say this is my bold take. I think they go to the Super Bowl this year.
Yeah, I think this is the year they figured out. I'm definitely gonna go with the Lions.
Yes, I believe in the Lions.
Okay. AFC South, the Colts.
No. Daniel Jones can back it up.
No, we're not going with that. It's an easy division, but yeah, I'm gonna go with them. It's an easy division, a real easy division.
That's what I'm looking at the division. If we're looking from a division standpoint, the only reason I'm going to say no is because it's still week 4, and they could hit a lance, and we don't know if Houston may get it together in the up and coming weeks. We're looking at week 4. Look, Indianapolis to be at the head of the division, but Jacksonville actually tied for first place in the division with Houston at 1-3. I think all these teams in the division are unpredictable. The only reason I'm going to go no is because I don't know exactly who they put faith in. We tried to put faith in Stroud. It doesn't look that good. He had a bad sophomore season, rookie season phenomenal, which is now it doesn't look really good. Trevor Lawrence, they cut him a big check. He's hurt a lot and don't produce a lot. Maybe this is his breakout year, starting off at 3-1. And Daniel Jones as well, coming from the situation in New York. They took a loss last week, but I think they're a solid team. I think the division is just too unpredictable. That's the only reason I'm going to say no.
Okay, and then lastly, the NFC South, we got the Bucks, Maurice.
No, I don't believe in Baker.
I actually believe in Baker. I think I'm going to go yes.
I'm going to agree with Mace on this. Like I said, we're going division by division. Atlanta Falcons, definitely not believing. Carolina Panthers. And then think about this, the New Orleans Saints have a worse record than the Carolina Panthers, which is crazy. Carolina Panthers, I think the shits was going for 49 cents last season. 49 cents and a free hot dog to come with it, some shit like that. So absolutely, this is a division where teams don't finish 500 and still make it to the playoffs. Now back to actually Tampa Bay Buccaneers, you think about Baker Mayfield. Mo may have personal feelings about him because he didn't do what he needed to do when he played for the Cleveland Browns, and that may have left a bad taste towards in Mo's mouth. But I think that where he's at, he's finally found the home. Him going to the Rams for a minute and then finally settling down in Tampa. He has a good core team there. Yeah, and then, you just get Chris Godwin back. He's been out for the beginning of the season. And Mike Evans wasn't playing. I think when Chris Godwin gets in motion fully and back to full strength, and you get Mike Evans, I think that you're really, really going to have a solid Tampa Bay Buccaneer team. And what I was going to say is that I believe they're going to be in the Final Four. When it comes to the NFC, my Final Four for the NFC is the Eagles, the Lions, Tampa Bay. And I'm going to have to put Green Bay in there, even though people will say, what about the Commanders? I'm just feeling like Tampa Bay will slide on that spot along with Green Bay and leave the Commanders on the outside of the Final Four looking at it. But I do believe in Tampa Bay.
So you guys are like half and half on the Bucks, and some people still feel like Bucks are losers, even though some people feel like they are winners. So be it with teams, entertainers, or people in general, Maurice gonna let you go first. What are winning versus loser habits that help characterize how basically like a team will be or what will happen to them? Like, what do you think separates winners versus losers?
You was noise. You still enjoy it.
Good universities make an impact, and great universities stand for something. Texas A&M University stands to lead, to serve.
Basically, like a team will be or what will happen to them. Like, what do you think separates winners versus losers?
Yeah, excuse me, my fault. One, I was gonna say two things to this. I was like, I seen Eric Cam's last take, and I was like, this motherfucker getting good at this.
Welcome, baby. That's when the big bucks start kicking. Yeah.
I was like, I gotta give me an iPad and start sourcing my information, man.
But yeah, man, listen, Mo, thank you. I appreciate this. Because, you know, at the end of the day, I sit with this nigga. I don't know. You gotta come in
know
prepared.
your stuff.
You gotta be prepared. Not just for sports. You have no idea what's gonna be thrown towards your way. So I try to come in prepared. But thank you for that compliment, Mo. I appreciate that.
No, as I was listening to it, I was like, this, like, it makes me want to, you know, have an exchange, and, you know, it just makes you want to get better.
And just to let you know, Mo, look, man, Mo, it ain't on, man. It ain't on, man. It ain't on, man. This shit just for show, man. It's just for show, man. Yeah, my bad, Mo.
It's all good. No, but when I prepared the question, I was asking, well, how did you frame the question? Because I want to answer the question that you asked.
Yeah, basically, so what I was alluding it to is how you're like, nah, I don't believe in Tampa Bay, and some people are like, yeah, we do, because people are like, we don't trust Baker Mayfield, even though some people do. So, in your opinion, what helps characterize winners versus losers? Like, why is Tampa Bay a winner to some people but a loser to some people? And I wanted to know what your opinion on that would be.
Yeah, in regards to Tampa Bay, and my context was just thinking about the whole, like, when you said it for real team, my mind was like saying, does this team have the ability to go to the Super Bowl, or does this team have the ability to go deep in the playoffs? And I was viewing it through that lens, and when I just was viewing it through Baker Mayfield, I was like, I don't think Baker Mayfield has what it takes to do what Tom Brady did with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers probably about 3 or 4 years ago when he took them to the Super Bowl and won with them. But in regards to loser characteristics, I wouldn't call Baker Mayfield in the organization losers per se, but that's how I characterize me as giving my opinion on that I believe in them as a legitimate contender for the Super Bowl. Maybe I just had the wrong context for it.
Yeah, that was a good one. When I think of this Buccaneer team, there's 3 things that come to mind that makes a team a winning team and separate them from being a loser team. The first thing is the character of the team. Like, when you think of who people are as people, like, what do they become when things go wrong? That's the first thing I look at, no matter what sport, but I know we're talking about football, is who do people become when things go wrong? That's the first thing. And then the second thing that I look at is that how much is this a collective effort? And on all championship teams, right, there's people that always show up that nobody expected. I know they don't depend on one person when it's a championship team. Those would be like the 2 things that jump out to me the most. Number 1 is who do people become when things go wrong? The second thing is how much dependency do they have on one particular player? Because we know in football anybody could get hurt and anything can happen. And the third thing that I focus on is how you play away from home. How you play away from home says a lot of right. So that's what made me say yes.
Yeah, as far as me, look, I can't define this. I'm not going to answer that question the way you guys answered the question, because for me, football is the ultimate team sport. Basketball is a team sport, but basketball is a little more if you and your man get on the same page, like, yo, these niggas bugging. You know what we got to do, Scotty. if you might. Yo, Shaq, you know what we got to do if you Kobe. You know, you can sit there and announce what you want to announce on your phone. That because you're popping on social media or on the internet, now these other outlets, they want to not give you the time of day before they need you because you figured out a lane for yourself. That plays a part into it as well.
Well, we're going to go to break. WNBA players are calling out their commissioner. Don't go anywhere.
She called me singing about toxic. 4 years and counting. Got you feeling like an option. Maybe I'm my own problem, babe. She tired of hearing I don't know. My stubborn in me won't fall. Dealing with this thing called trust. But she, even when I'm right.
Welcome back. Now let's get into our underdog picks of the day. On Thursday, the 49ers will play the Rams. Underdog has Devontae Adams at 54.5 receiving yards. Do you have him higher or lower, Mace?
That's an interesting one. I'm gonna go higher.
Yeah, I'm going high as well.
Okay, Puka Nacua is at 96.5 receiving yards. Do you have him higher?
Nigga Pookie coming off 170. I'm going higher, Pook. Nigga Pook, we going higher with Pook, man.
Let me see. Lower.
Okay, and Brock Purdy's at 237.5 passing yards. Do you have him higher or lower, Mace?
Lower.
No higher.
Okay, make sure you have download the Underdog app and you can make your picks too. So WNBA's got a lot going on right now, and a lot of the story is still unfolding, but basically Link star Nafisa Collier blasted the WNBA commissioner Kathy Engelbert in her exit interview with a 4-minute speech stating that they have the worst leadership in the world. So it is a long speech, but I'm just going to go over some of the quotes that she said came from their commissioner. The commissioner apparently told her Caitlin Clark should be grateful she makes $16 million off the court because without the platform the WNBA gives her, she wouldn't be making anything. She also said in that same conversation, she told her players should be on their knees thanking their lucky stars for the media rights deal that she got them. So before we kind of dive more just to like issues the WNBA players are having.
And that is from the commissioner?
Yes.
Okay.
That was a private conversation. Nafisa went during her exit interview when they didn't make it onto the semifinals and basically said everything that she needed to say because she's advocating for change. So hearing those statements based off of what Fee said, Maurice, what do you think?
Hold on real quick, just so I'm clear.
Yeah.
What you just read is from the commissioner.
No, that's from the player.
What are you doing?
So she called out the commissioner and said private, basically conversations that they had out loud to the public in her exit interview.
Just so I'm clear, and she's nice. She's always done. She repeated what the commissioner said.
She's saying the commissioner told her that.
Gotcha. Okay,
Yeah.
that's what
And she blasted it on her exit interview because she's been advocating for change. So Maurice, just hearing those statements from the commissioner, and I'll say alleged because Fee said that, what do you think of those statements that were said?
Adobe Acrobat Studio is all new. What can PDF spaces with AI do for your marketing needs in one spot?
Commissioner, and I'll say alleged because Fee said that. What do you think of those statements that were said?
When you sent the topic over to research, and I just started researching the commissioner, just old interviews, and I can see how people have come to that opinion on the lady. But when you talk about just like an old school mentality and something that doesn't feel like it fits the brand of women who you have when the league is trying to change, when she talks about just the women in such a resentful way, and it almost seems like to me that she talks about like just in a very resentful way that the people with the Caitlin Clarks, the Angel Reeses, the Asia Wilsons, and all these people should be so happy and joyful that all of the things that she's created or the other people have created should be happy for her. But I was happy. I was happy that they at least called her out, and that brings some level of accountability, or it forces her to change, or at least the conversation that's been being done in private. Now you have more people confronting you about the things that you have to do to basically show that you're advancing the league. I was just surprised that she said that about Caitlin Clark too. You know, Caitlin Clark being a white woman and her being a white woman. Excuse me. I didn't think that she would, have those, disparaging remarks about Caitlin, but it was surprising to me. But I'm happy that it's a conversation that was brought to the forefront. I'm happy with where women's basketball is at least at, and everybody's talking about it. But it was surprising to me, like once you go and look at the other interviews of her, how they frame her.
The fellas got their boats out today.
I'm happy it came to the forefront.
Yeah, I think this is typical how some people think. Realistically, I think this is a chip off the old block, as they used to say. This is that same mentality that has hovered over sports, that hovered over the NFL, the NBA, not more so the NBA, but a lot of the NFL, the good old boys. Now we gotta say the good old girls. We gotta call them now the good old girls. Like, that's that mindset that I'm doing you a favor no matter how good you are, no matter how great you are, no matter what you're bringing to my business, it is still my business. No, that mindset has to change. It has to change. I wouldn't be surprised, and I know sometimes people think I might jump the gun, but I wouldn't be surprised if they get out of there. I think that mindset is erroneous. I think it's not a place for that in WNBA, especially when you're trying to go to new heights. You're trying to bring in new sponsors and all of those type of things. And to say that about the premier player that's really bringing all of this interest to the game is just like, is backwards. You're shooting yourself in the foot, for lack of better words. And God bless her family and everything like that, but that gotta go. That gotta go today, not tomorrow, today. Because when you think about all the innovation that's coming to this sport of the WNBA and where it could potentially go, we're finally seeing some like real growth in this sport. Remember, for a long time, people were not checking the games out. I mean, people would go to the Atlanta Dream games, and it would just be a bunch of just regular people, not regular, but just, it wasn't special. Now they're getting to the place where they're getting on jets, they're getting other opportunities, and when you got that kind of growth being infused to a product such as the WNBA, you can't have the one at the helm blocking all of the great resources from coming in.
If I was Caitlin Clark, I'd say suck my clip. Period. Straight like that. I was making $3.1 million a year in college. Fuck is you talking about? He's like, yo, don't act like you're doing me a favor. First of all, Ice Cube and them offered me $5 million for 10 weeks. I told them no, then they came back for $15 million. Fuck you mean what I would have been doing? I would have grabbed that and waited till next year. I'm trying to bring awareness to women's basketball, taking a wild pay cut. When you think about, let's just say $5 million for 10 weeks, and her pay is what? 250,000? 78,000 times 4, right? So you're sitting there, I don't even know what number that is. What kind of markup is that, murder? 9,000%?
Yeah, she's up there.
Oh yeah, like some 9,000%. What the fuck is there? Like 78,000 for a whole WNBA season, or 15 million for 10 weeks. The fuck is the commissioner talking about? This is what year you think this is? I was making 3.1 in college. I got a $28 million deal with Nike. Watch your mouth. Watch your mouth. Secondly, I don't know this for a fact because I haven't done the due diligence on this, but I can imagine how the ratings dropped since Caitlin Clark has been hurt. Because she was hurt the last month or two, or however long it was before the season. I was even upset because the Fever actually made it to the semifinals, and Caitlin Clark wasn't playing. Imagine this, murder. Now, mind you, this is her second year. Her team makes it to the semifinal. What the ratings would have been. Yeah. Did you know that? But I'm saying, not even being funny. Did you know the Fever was in the semifinal?
No.
Exactly, but I bet you.
Caitlin wasn't playing.
Exactly. If Caitlin was playing, you would have known that the Fever was in the semifinals. So, yo, I would be like, yo, if I'm Caitlin Clark, then you need to come see me.
She actually make the league hot. As much as people like to argue about it, she was bringing the eyeballs. I know people are gonna hate that take, but it's the truth. It's like she's bringing the viewers along with everybody else, but they're coming to see her either win or fail. and that's what's motivating a lot of the interest.
Just want to add a stat really quick to back up what you guys are saying. So it was reported that the WNBA viewership went down 55% since her injury, and even for the Fever's national TV games, it was at 1.8 million average viewers, and it went down to about 850,000. So
it's the dawn of a new era. Your chance to do what no one saw coming. To do what inspires you. To do what makes it.
do 850,000. So
yeah, so you can feel how you want to feel about her. You can want to feel.
This was
55% is a lot.
And this was what I was saying. Hold on, Mo. Let me finish my take real quick, because I wasn't even finished. I got an attitude about it, so fuck me. Because who the fuck is you to be telling me this? I would go in the commissioner's office with all these numbers. Yo, check me out at Iowa. Check me out with Nike. Check me out with Gatorade. Check out your viewership. Fuck you mean you giving me a platform? I could have went overseas and I could have did 10 weeks with the niggas. I may have bust my ass or whatever. But 15 million for 15 million. How long is it gonna take? All right, let's just do math murder. 10. It's gonna take 20 years to make what? 1.4?
This is like the good old boy mindset on steroids. But you would think this would be happening with a Caucasian woman and a black girl. This is happening with a white girl. That's what makes it even crazier.
Yeah, so I'm glad Nafisa blew the spot up, because to Murder's point, in his take, it might be like, you know, the person under the commission be like, no, we've been ain't fucking with her anyway. That's all that's gonna start.
Yeah.
Vote to get the commission out and all that. That's gonna start soon, because at the end of the day, now don't get me wrong, like Stat used a very important word, allegedly, because I'm pretty sure she's gonna say Nafisa exaggerated what I said and try and clean it up. But Nafisa doesn't come across as a person who would just randomly say that for no particular reason whatsoever. Take the clock. I don't know what you gonna do, Hunt, but you got the leverage, and you're a very fair person to me. I'm talking about as far as not trying to take too much, like as far as downplaying your celebrity, as far as saying, no, the females deserve this, the females deserve that. Knowing damn well you're the meal ticket. If, like Murder said, people may not want to hear that, like it or not. You're the meal ticket. Let's think about this. Let's think about when she got her sneaker deal. And not saying that Asia Wilson didn't deserve one, but he's like, oh, hold up, now they just giving out women's sneaker deals and they don't sneak. Where the fuck Asia sneak at?
Asia got one. Asia got one.
Yo, let's get Asia a deal.
Yeah.
And I think Asia's the best basketball player in the WNBA. They didn't think about it until they gave Caitlin Clark one, and us as black people threw a damn fit about it. So we don't need to get them mad.
Yeah.
Just get a suit.
Yeah. I think the thing that's bad about this, I hate that it came to a black girl. I hate that she was the messenger of this message, because now she's gonna probably have to watch out, because people don't take light to things like that, especially when you're sharing private information publicly.
Every driver in Michigan has to have insurance. The drunk drivers have been paying for insurance. The distracted drivers have been paying for insurance. The kid that's been texting and driving, they've been paying for insurance with their parents. It's our job to make the insurance.
To things like that, especially when you're sharing private information publicly.
I'll tell you one thing, Murder.
Yeah.
Speaking of truth, Murder, you're 100% correct. But she probably the second best player in the NBA. Fisa Carter, like, she is Asia Wilson, then it's her. If you want to put Caitlin and Paige in there because they're color, but I thought, to be honest with you, of course Asia Wilson deserved her 4th MVP this year. But if anybody should have got it right after her, this is Nafisa Carter.
So I will add, because this is still unfolding, and like we know that Nafisa already started Unrivaled, which is already making a lot of money, and they're still trying to figure out their CBA rights deal, because the players really think that they should be having revenue sharing because of the media rights deal that the WNBA just signed, which was like $2.2 billion, and even just knowing that the highest paid WNBA player only makes about $250,000 given the rights deals that they signed. So it's definitely going to kind of be a little battle from here on out, and I'm not exactly sure which direction it's going, but I did want to read you guys the commissioner's response to basically see what you guys think about that. So she said, I have the utmost respect for Nafisa Collier and for all the players in the WNBA. Together we have all worked tirelessly to transform this league. My focus remains on ensuring a bright future for the players and
today's top stories. We're on top of some breaking news for you right now. Gas explosion in the Bronx, and we want you to take
the WNBA, including collaborating on how we continue to
look at this. It appears part of this building is gone along the entire length. The FDNY confirming this was in fact a gas explosion, adding an incinerator shaft collapse contributed to the damage. Fortunately, no injuries have been reported at this time. We know the building is part of the Mitchell houses, as you can see, but officials are warning people to expect delays near Alexander Avenue and East 135th Street. This is a breaking news story. We're going to continue to bring you more details as they come in, but you can see some significant damage there. All that
How you doing, love? What's going on? Yo, did you see the building that partially collapsed in Mount Haven up in the Bronx? What the fuck is going on over in the Bronx? Said it was a gas explosion in the building. Brought that shit damn near down. Holla at me. How you doing? Just now finding that shit out, she way behind the times. God damn. So what's up otherwise? How you doing? How you been? What's going on with you? I see you working. What's new? I don't know if the government shutdown affects your passport. I think that's just for litigators and lawmakers. Or do they shut down just that portion? Because I'm pretty sure, federal jobs are still rolling along. Hey, yo, brother Cooper, what's up, yo? What's up? It's Wednesday the 10th. What's new? What's going on with you? How the boys? How you doing? How you feeling? What's on the agenda?
The game. I am disheartened by how Nafisa characterized our conversations and league leadership, but even when our perspectives differ, my commitment to the players and to this work will not waver. So Maurice, gonna let you go first.
No, I'm going first. Bitch, your publicist wrote that. I ain't jacking none of that. Yo, clean this shit up. Clean this shit, gonna get a mess. Clean this shit up. Hurry up. Write me some shit and I sign off on it. We can't have this shit. Publicist wrote that. Mo, go ahead. I ain't even got much to say about it. Go ahead.
One, we was gonna have the same take. A publicist wrote that. I had a different question, and it's that no offense to what you just asked, but I just never wonder why. There's people who always say that paved the way for people, but then they get mad of people who take advantage of what they paid way for. You ever seen that in the past?
Yeah.
That never made sense to me. Where hey, we're doing all this so people can do better, and then when the people who do better start doing
that's
better,
a good point.
people get mad at them. I just don't understand.
I'm just paving the way. That when niggas, that's a good point. Yo, we paved the way. Thank you.
Yeah.
We'll pave more way for the next niggas. I understand what you're coming for. Go ahead,
Yeah, I think this statement alone kind of puts her in a Donald Sterling
You might not realize that you could qualify for disability benefits. The program is designed for anyone who is unable to work because of a medical condition. And
I think this is that his name? Donald Sterling. Yeah, put him in that position like Paul is the owner of the Clippers. And I really think that this kind of statement is so explosive. It really shouldn't exist without a recording, actually, because it's so explosive. If you're somebody else and you're thinking about this young lady who's the next best player in the league, how do you feel comfortable talking around her, Killer, if you know this is the type of thing she does? Like, she take the information and go public.
You're 100% correct. It's a mess all over the board.
Yeah.
Because it's like, yo, you might be free about it. Like, if let's just use me and you as an example.
Like, hold up.
No, like, for instance, right? Let's just say the nigga King is here in the room and we know he told somebody else. And I'm like, yo, but you want, yeah. So you might tell, like, you know this nigga. It's a good point. That's a very, very good point.
Yeah, like, remember, who was that? D'Angelo Russell, when he said that about Kobe. It's like, you can't bring him back in the locker room and
the
trust
thing about
that
it, that followed him.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. So we got to put a pin right here on the feast and watch how things not unravel, but play out for her as a person. Because if you're a person in a corporation or anything like that, people, you gotta have some kind of record or some kind of because if it makes you look messy, even though you're saying something that could be powerful.
Yeah, that's a good point. You saying the FISA need to watch her back like the 5 Heartbeats Big Red.
I mean, because we've been in this pause for a long time, so we know all of the whistleblowers. We know what happened to whistleblowers. So when you blow the whistle, pause. You really gotta have your stuff together.
Did you get your real ID?
Good point. Very good point.
Well,
no fear in the visa. We just giving you wisdom from back in the days, you know.
But also shout out to her, because I know that's a very hard thing to do, but she is a very trusted voice in the WNBA, and clearly she spoke up for all of them, because a lot of the WNBA players came to her defense and basically was supporting her. So I don't know what happens next. This brings a whole whirlwind of things, and we'll discuss as the season continues. But
because one other point, because what if it's not true? What if it's not true?
The thing is, though, off the commissioner's
I'm saying there was a conversation, but what if she didn't say that in the conversation?
I think that, and this is a good question, because I think, and I don't know the WNBA commissioner. If this was Adam Silver, even especially David Stern, that was outright bold-faced wrong and lie. If it was 100%,
because you know David Stern, we know David Stern.
Yeah, like, listen, that is not what I said. And I'm sorry that he misinterpreted. So I don't have any information. I'm just going off what's being read to me. I don't know this commissioner's personality or anything else. Somebody's lying on you, and you got to put a statement out. You got to at least in the statement put that that's not true what you said. That's what I would say.
Yeah, so she, according to her response, many are going to believe you said this, because you would have started with, hey, I'm going to need you to retract that statement. I'm going to need you to do this, because that is not what I said. That may be what you took from it. And people will be very emphatic when they know they didn't say something.
Yeah. Listen,
I was just putting a question
I'm going to be honest with you. And listen, let's just be totally honest. This show, the reason me and Mace are even speaking is where somebody lied on him and he killed the podcast.
telling people I gave you. And listen, bro, I got my receipts. You're right. You're 100% right. Yeah, you gotta clear that up, Commissioner.
Yeah, so but our reason, like, just give them some more context about what I said was that for people that don't know, me and Mace was a speakerphone 10 years or maybe longer, and he said some words on the podcast, and then I came on the podcast, said some words, but that wasn't his reason for going on the podcast.
Yeah.
The podcast, the reason for him going on the podcast was he felt somebody lied on him, and he went to clear that up.
And we drove there to clear it up. Yeah, you gotta clear things up, man.
And the commissioner didn't do that.
Yeah.
At all. She basically just said, when our perspectives differ, my commitment to the, like, you already lost me.
Yeah, you lost me with that because you said something. Yeah. So shout out to Nafisa for standing for the truth.
Yeah, hopefully things get better for them because I know they got a lot going on. But y'all, that is all the time that we have for today, Maurice. You know, it's always a pleasure to have you on the show.
Hey, Mo, it was so great for you being here.
My bad.
Tell everybody about your show on Come and Talk to Me Network.
Every day on the Come and Talk to Me Network at 5 p.m. It's called Start With the Facts. And it's myself and a few co-hosts. We get up on the show every day, talk about all the current events, sports, and we have a great time doing so. But every day, 5 o'clock on the network. Thanks you all again for giving me the opportunity, and thanks to anybody who's tuned in and enjoyed the show with us.
Yeah, and everybody, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. If you're not hating, why are you waiting? Hit the subscribe button right now. Stat, take us home.
That part. Thank y'all for watching, and as always, it is what it is.
Glad they're doing good though. It's nice that she's over in Canada. She got out while the kids good, I see. Yeah, since you're working remote, you might as well. Look, be out. I'm out, peace. Rent that motherfucking apartment out. And go up there with a couple dollars in your pocket. I ain't mad at it. I'll come visit.
Love slots? The DraftKings Casino app's got you covered. They got tons of slots to choose from. Like,
You know, be safe, have fun, keep your head on the swivel. And when it's time to boogie, bring a shovel. You don't know, you might have to bury back here before you leave. And keep your Roscoe with you. Did you get your permit yet? Stop playing. And you're gonna need a car in Canada. Like, get your license. Stop playing around.
Nothing more possible. You didn't even do nothing. What part of the drugs? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Okay? He's still going to jail regardless. Oh, because he's a black man. And he was just the first one you saw, huh? Okay.
In Las Vegas, a police officer saw a man with a gun, but it wasn't actually a real gun. It was just a finger gun, a harmless hand gesture. Though harmless, the officer was not happy about it. He decided to go get a bunch of his buddies and go teach the guy a lesson. The officer noticed that the suspect was driving a black Dodge Durango and saw him turn into a nearby parking garage. The suspect parked, took the garage elevator to the ground floor, and when the elevator opened, there were no cops waiting for him. He walked off, and he probably had a great time that night. But when another black male who had entered the parking garage in a different car also subsequently took that same elevator to the ground floor, cops were waiting for him. The wrong guy. Body cams off, ready to teach him a lesson. Tim, his sister Alyssa, and her boyfriend Ken were completely innocent. And they just happened to be at the wrong place at the wrong time, meeting the wrong cops. Even though it was a case of mistaken identity, and even though the actual suspect the cops were looking for had committed no real crime, these cops would cover up their mistakes with false charges and lies. And they would almost get away with it, but fortunately, this lawyer saved the day. He gave me the footage and the story. Let's go through it.
He grabs him first, starts to take him down, and then says, "You're under arrest."
As a lawyer, I deal with enough things that jam up and don't work right. My wallet shouldn't be one of them. That's why I ditched my Ridge and switched to Exter, the sponsor of today's video. Here's the thing, the Ridge always felt like a brick in my pocket. Cards would stick, bands would loosen. Getting what I actually needed was frustrating. With Exter, I get effortless access. Their new metal ejector trigger fans my cards out instantly, no fumbling. There's even a separate outside card compartment perfect for your ID or your work card or your gym card. Imagine a wallet that holds up to 14 cards and make the drive to Fremont Street Experience in Las Vegas to have some tacos and walk around and have a good time. Officer George or Jorge Caloca, a police officer employed as a city marshal by the city of Las Vegas, was driving a marked police cruiser around the Fremont Street Experience along the intersection. Conducting a stop, Officer Caloca noticed a black Dodge Durango traveling northbound on 4th Street, where he claims to have observed the driver use his hand to make a finger gun, a hand gesture using fingers to resemble a handgun. The black Durango then entered the Neonopolis parking garage. At around the same time that the Durango entered that parking garage, Tim, Alyssa, and Ken also entered that same parking garage, though they were driving a gray Hyundai. Surveillance footage shows the occupants of the Durango using the parking garage elevator first to reach the ground floor. The black adult male wearing a bright colored sweater is the individual who is alleged to have made the finger gun hand gesture. Shortly afterwards, Tim, Alyssa, and Ken then walk up to the same elevator. They get in that very same elevator and go to the very same ground floor level in order to reach the free
bathroom break. Mind your business. Roll them down.
Fremont Street Experience. But when they exit the elevator on the ground floor,
told me to look up to me in the streets. And I told him, well, my feelings were hurt because nigga told me, yank my sign down, which was petty, but it was big to me because I feel like we know each other. I just talked to you, and for you to do that is like you shitting on my dream, bro. You know. So he told me he didn't do it. I told him, well, shit, ain't no deep, you know. Just like I say, when I say things about people on songs, people gonna blow it up and they think it's gonna be, you know, we just don't know I'm entertaining my listeners, and I talk about anybody, you know. I could be with my boy, and when he make me mad, I might jot him line by his age. You might see it later on. So make a long story short, people to count on too. Ain't nobody really tripping. No, it ain't nothing personal. You know, like I say, I told him, I said, man, I'd be less than a man to do you something behind some he said, she said, when I can just come approach you. Because we know each other. You know, I know you and you know me. You know what I'm saying? I see this rap shit and this street shit, two different things, bro. And I could have started like a whole little Tupac and Bigger walk with. I could have been fucking niggas and had all my niggas who following me, beefing with them, and you could have did the same as we. And I feel like it wasn't worth it. It wasn't worth for me to hurt nobody behind no stupid shit, you know. My feelings get hurt. I'm expressing myself. And that's just one of the things I'm always do.
So after all the disrespect that Mr.
love listening to that. So he used to pay some young kid to kill people?
Got life in prison.
Who did, Bootsy?
No, the little boy.
Little boy got life in prison for $2,000.
He adopted a little boy, took him in, and confusing him and his head or anybody that was against him, he would pay the little boy $2,000.
$2,000.
And the little boy got life, and then they say he ain't giving them no money. He put no money on his books and stuff like that.
That's what he said? Oh, Bootsy ain't shit. Ah, damn. You gonna take the little dude and put him to work, get him fucking booked, did all your dirty work, and then say you ain't even gonna feed this nigga? I hope he gets out. I hope that little boy gets out.
Nah, he got 9 bodies on him.
It's not his fault. I mean, it's his fault. What's Bootsy getting for that?
Huh?
Nothing?
He almost got the death penalty, but he got off or whatever. But now he might have to do 2 years.
That's it? So
Yeah,
Bootsy almost got the death penalty, and now he's getting 2 years?
Something about his son got some gun charges or something.
How you go from death penalty to 2 years?
The boy took the charges, like.
That's fucking crazy. That's diabolical. I almost don't believe it. And that little boy cooked.
He ain't a little boy, that boy. He's 15 years old. He's 32.
Oh, so he was 17, 16, 17, 13.
They instead confronted Tim, Alyssa, and Kim. The officers immediately began aggressively questioning them about this hand gesture that they knew nothing about. Since officers had stopped the wrong people, Tim, Alyssa, and Ken did the best they could to answer the officers' questions, telling the officers that they didn't make any hand gestures, they didn't know anything about it. They asked the officers what kind of car they had observed, initially trying to assist them in identifying the people that they were looking for. Eventually, Tim began to walk away. He had been watching a football game on his phone, which we can also see in the surveillance footage as he's walking up to the garage elevator. Believing that the interaction was over, as he walked away, numerous police officers tackled Tim from behind, violently slamming him to the concrete, ripping out some of his hair, drawing their firearms and tasers, pointing them at him, pinning him to the concrete, handcuffing him in front of hundreds of onlookers on busy Fremont Street. His sister Alyssa and her boyfriend Ken were shocked at what was happening, and they began to film on their phones.
We just got here! They have a fucking taser! Don't touch me! Don't touch me! Don't touch me! This is the antagonizing officer! This right here! My brother did nothing! We just got here! What car was it? What car was it? What car was it? We drive a Hyundai Sonata! They said that we were going hand signal! Yes, it does! Get the fuck off of him! You're getting involved, yeah! You're improving your job! You're improving your job! Improving your job! Yeah. It's okay! Stop! They're going to... You are losing your jobs tonight! You can't tell me what car was! You literally stopped us coming from a parking garage! From the parking garage! Please help me! Please help me! Please help me!
Maybe tell me just like some brief background on who your clients are and how they ended up being at this scene.
If you live in a Michigan zip code and have 0 DUIs in the last 5 years,
Maybe tell me just like some brief background on who your clients are and how they ended up being at this scene.
3 African Americans come into my office for criminal defense. They had gone down to downtown Las Vegas, an area called the Fremont Street Experience. One of them had been charged with battery on a police officer, and the other had been charged with like obstruction, giving false information to an officer. When they came into my office, I just was drawn to them immediately. The guy who gets tackled at first in the case, Tim, he's an ex-college football player. He's just a massive guy, but just the sweetest man. And then his sister, Alyssa, she was just like a little spitfire and was really upset about the situation. And then her boyfriend, Ken, who actually gets arrested in the situation, was kind of the mellow guy of them all. But like I say, I was drawn to them. And so they started telling me the story. This hand gesture has made this officer irate. The people who made these hand gestures are actually in front of my client. And they get into the elevator. They go up the elevator, and the cops don't bother them at all. My clients, the 3 of them, get into the elevator. They are surrounded by officers when they get out of the elevator. And my clients are like very confused as to why these officers are being so aggressive with them about these hand gestures. They don't even say what the hand gestures are. It seems like they're like implying that the hand gestures are like gang symbols or something like that. They don't say that it's pointing a finger gun at the officer. And so the officers are being really aggressive. I think there's 5 or 6 officers that surround my clients. My clients are trying to get answers as to why, they're questioning them as to what car this person, the made this hand gesture was driving and things like that, and officers just won't tell them. My client, Tim, he's trying to watch a college football game because he's a big college football fan. I don't know, he almost thinks it's like a joke, like it's some kind of a prank. And so after Alyssa, his sister, and things they've answered the officer's question, we're driving.
They already upset the situation.
Which it wasn't. It was a black Dodge Durango. And so Tim starts to walk away. As he's walking,
a silver Hyundai
he gets tackled from behind by like 4 or 5 officers. Take him to the ground. They pull out his hair. They put a taser in his chest. They threaten to tase his sister. And they place him under arrest. They put him in cuffs. And then they parade him out in front of hundreds of people on this Fremont Street Experience to the main road, Las Vegas Boulevard, and then they stand him in front of a police cruiser. And during that time, Alyssa she's terrified that the officers are going to kill her brother, and she's just screaming, trying to get answers as to why this whole thing happened. And both her and Ken are videotaping the whole thing.
What the Can you tell me what car you drive? Can you tell me what car you drive? It doesn't matter. It literally does not matter. It doesn't matter, but no, he's going to take side of the window, but it doesn't matter what car you drive? Oh, that's dumb as he didn't do nothing to you. That's racist. Yeah. That's goofy as you don't even do nothing. What car does he drive? What car? It doesn't matter. Yes, it doesn't matter. We don't have to tell you guys anything at this point. Yes, y'all don't know the car. Y'all don't know who did it.
don't know who did it.
Okay. He's still going to jail, regardless.
Oh, because he's a black man. And he was just the first one you saw, huh?
Okay.
It could have been me. It could have been anybody.
That's all you guys do. You play the race card. It's not about that.
Then what is it about? What car does he drive? What car does he drive? You can't tell me. You can't tell me. You can't tell me. You're racist. You're racist. You're racist. Even the black man that you with is racist.
Even the black dude you with is racist. Damn right.
You make sense.
This nigga you got with you.
We literally got here. We didn't even ride past you.
You're not walking that way. You're not walking that way.
Walk that way.
You're staying right here. You're staying right here.
Don't touch me. Don't touch me.
So how would you purify water? Why boil it? Boiling kills bacteria, but it doesn't remove it.
Stay right here.
Don't touch me. Don't touch me. Dumbass. What the f is wrong with you? Don't touch me. Huh? Get out of here.
You're not passing. That's it.
Yo, this is big and then to y'all. Y'all being racist opposite douches. Aren't you?
Who laughing like that? This is bothering me.
You don't even tell me it's anything. Y'all can't tell me what car he drives. What car does he drive? What car does he drive? I can't tell me shit. Because y'all just wanted to pick on a black man.
So then they have him standing in front of the police cruiser, and Alyssa and Ken are still trying to get answers as to, you know, why they've arrested Tim. And they're still videotaping. And then an officer has had it with Ken videotaping. And he grabs Ken and he throws him down to the sidewalk.
Oh, no. She's freezing away. She's freezing away.
Are you Jesus?
Now you're being detained.
Come on, son, get some too.
Down his hair. And he threw him down so hard that one of the witnesses in the situation said that she stopped because she said the ground shook. And so then they arrest Ken. So now we have two people in custody over a situation which I don't believe is a crime because these officers are just bullies and they're just mad that someone would make this hand gesture. Even though this is not a crime, they've got the wrong people.
Was there any footage of the initial conversation? Looking at the body cam, it seems like everything turns on. The initial conversation had already taken place.
Yeah, so that's really suspicious to us. You think that that's intentional. They intentionally do not record any audio and intimidating a police officer, which we don't believe is a crime. I don't think the prosecutor would believe is a crime. And then for the investigation of this non-crime, the cops said, "Oh, well, they didn't answer all of our questions, and they walked away, so that was obstruction." And so ultimately, Tim gets charged with obstruction and or impulsive, both of which were bogus charges.
So all the criminal charges were dismissed eventually.
Yeah, no, after a lot of work, you know, and
say hi to yourself.
And actually, you know, we had to sit at the courthouse, you know, and prepare for a preliminary hearing. I think the hearing got continued, and then after the continuance of the hearing, that's when the prosecutor eventually dismissed the case.
Yeah,
and then we had to set the misdemeanor for a trial, and we're preparing for a trial, and then I think on the eve of trial, you know, the prosecutor
they realize they had no damn
called
case.
me or sent me an email saying we're not going to
Exactly.
case. So
So Well, you know what? Did they sue him? Let me find out.
I would have. Seems like the girl would have liked to be willing to.
That's on your phone. So check it out. We'll dive in here on my phone.
You know, it's a lot of work and stress. You know, over.
Had they not walked into your office, that criminal conviction would have remained.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So, Tim would have been convicted. He would have been fined. He would have had a suspended sentence. He probably had to do impulse control. You know, things like that. For this crime. And then I'm absolutely positive that Ken, on the more serious charge, would have been convinced to enter a guilty plea too. This same cop, you know, has been named in a number of different lawsuits. He's the one that apparently gets fed up with all of this videotaping and questioning by Alyssa and Ken. And so then he grabs Ken and you know, slams him to the ground. In the officer's statement, he says, "Oh, I told him he was under arrest, and he came at me." So it's very obvious from the video that he grabs him first, starts to take him down, and then says, "You're under arrest."
She's reasonable.
So luckily we
Going
have
to
video.
You're going to jail.
You know, what he read is wrong.
They set out to do something malicious. You know, because they chose not to turn their body cams on. They knew that they were going to confront somebody for something that wasn't illegal. They were already going to cover up what they were going to do. And then how scary is it that they get the wrong person, a mistaken identity, when they're already setting out to do somebody harm based on a retaliatory motivation, and then they get the wrong person. And that's like I think that's a terrifying scenario that, you know, could happen to anybody.
Yeah, no, I mean, imagine getting out of an elevator, you know, you're like,
This looks like a good one.
That's a very about especially I don't know weapons and circle K's. What do you have in your hand? Show me your hand.
You know what? Sometimes I think
Put your hands on your back.
these police officers rode the short bus.
You understand you're holding it like this, like it's a pistol, right?
No, I was showing her the pump on.
But that's
That's all I need to see right there. He said, "You got a gun. You got a gun. You going to jail. You going to jail. You going to jail. You pump big ass. You going to jail. You going to jail." Fake cop responds to emergency call, gets arrested by the real police. God damn, what's wrong with people? Cop aims gun at innocent kids. Oh, that nigga going to jail. Kid sues father for not buying him. Oh, this gotta be good.
Pennsylvania is hiring 911 dispatchers in your county.
Today, the Judge Porter. Well, it's a long story. Pretty much my father promised me a great reward, you know, for all the great things I've done growing up.
This is by no way an extension of the way I brought him up, which I assure you was not what you're seeing. He is a transformed person. I can't believe you're doing this to your father. And now I'm wondering, damn, does he even love this man? All rise. The court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Porter will preside. Everyone, please be seated. Thank you so much. We have case number 7313, Benny Crespo versus Omar Crespo. Gentlemen, if you come to the podium, please. Benny Crespo, I assume?
Your Honor.
Do you know who Omar Crespo is?
I think so.
And what's your relationship to this Crespo here? He's my son. Okay.
Sad to say.
Now, for the purposes of this court, since you guys share the same last name, I will be referred to you as Mr. Benny, and I will refer to you as Mr. Omar. Is that okay, gentlemen?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Benny, sir, you show that you're suing your father for $60,000 for emotional distress. Am I reading this correctly?
Yes, Your Honor.
You mind telling the court what happened?
Oh, it's a long story, but pretty much.
I need you to speak up just a little bit, sir.
Oh, it's a long story. Pretty much my father promised me a great reward, for all the great things I've done growing up. And, he always promised
What have you done?
well in the classroom,
What have
well in sports. He'll reward me greatly. And now that the time is here, I'm of age. He's not keeping his
How old are you now, sir?
I just turned 21 December
21.
17th.
Okay.
Yes, Your Honor. And my birthday and Christmas happen to be, kind of close together. So usually years in the past, I would get a gift for both my birthday and Christmas. But as of recent, we've got a pay raise. And, with that comes greater rewards, as he promised me.
How you know your father got a pay raise?
As for my birthday, 21 is a big deal. And I asked for a luxury car. Lamborghini.
I'm sorry, you asked for what? A luxury car?
Yeah, luxury car.
For your
He
birthday?
probably can't even afford a luxury car. You want him to buy you one?
Okay. What type of luxury car are we talking about?
Anything from a Porsche, Lamborghini, Ferrari.
For 60 grand?
Just case.
Basic electric vehicle, if you
You
can call it.
lucky you got that.
An electric vehicle?
Most parents can't even buy
Not
their
really a
kid a
vehicle,
car.
I would say. First, you can't hear it. It has no motor, no engine. Two, you have to charge it. If I wanted to charge something, I can easily just charge my phone. And it's just,
If you
I don't like
charge
this kid
something,
already.
you can just
I don't
charge
like
your
him.
phone.
Yes.
I would
I
rule
don't
in the
see
father's
why I
favor
have to
just
charge my
because he's so arrogant.
Should have
If
punched his
I
son in the face.
easily just
Yeah,
have
then he
something
would
in
be
it.
facing
Taste of life.
Then his son would be
Put
full
gas
of
in it. I don't have to sit around
punching
and
him
wait.
in the face.
Nah, we grown. I'm gonna just take my charge.
I'm curious. Mr. Green. Where do you reside?
With my father.
You stay in his house.
Oh, you better be lucky he don't kick your ass out after this.
Mr. Omar. Your Honor, Judge Porter. Your Honor. Please. If I please explain this to me. If I may, I can't believe you're doing this to your father.
I don't see the
Judge
problem.
Porter, this isn't. I don't want you to get the wrong impression. This is by no way an extension of the way I brought him up, which I assure you was not what you're seeing. He is a transformed person. I'm pretty sure that the standards that you instilled in him are kind of different from the standards he has now. But please explain to me what is going on. I'm trying to understand. Oh gosh. Oh boy. Judge Porter, you got me at a loss for words right now. I have to admit.
I don't think I ought to be, standing here acting like this if he's claiming I wasn't raised like this. Well, I don't think I'll be standing
Son, what are you doing? Okay, Mr. Omar, let me ask you this question. Mr. Omar, he stays in your house? Does he live in your house? He was born and has lived in our house, my wife and I's house, for the last 21 years. Does he go to school? Yes, he's currently going to college.
4.0 GPA.
I'm sorry?
4.0 GPA at that.
4.0. He's a great student. Who pays for his tuition? He actually got a full ride scholarship. Also, he has a full ride scholarship. Yes. Academics or sports? Both. Academic, 4.0 GPA, which we're very proud of, and he is an exceptionally gifted basketball player. Okay. As well. Mr. Ben, let me ask you this question. As far as this basketball scholarship goes, do you have an NIL deal? You know what that is?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. The name, image, and likeness. Do you have that?
Yes.
How much are you paid for that?
I would say an additional $50,000.
So the school pays you $50,000 in addition to giving you the athletic scholarship. It's a full ride scholarship.
Yes.
So you don't have to pay for anything.
No, sir.
Plus of that, you have the stipend for the NIL deal. Okay, Mr. Omar, please continue, sir. Judge Porter, if I may, I like to say a few things about myself and my son. Okay. Just so you can get a better understanding of things that are not on paper. Please explain this. I came to this country when I was 21 years old from Argentina. Okay. I was born in Buenos Aires, Argentina. I came when I was 21 without anyone.
Get more for less with Tim Hortons $1, $2, $3.
Doing this all wrong.
Order any
All
size
wrong.
beverage.
He's doing it all wrong.
What do you mean? Like a donut
Yana,
for $1. A bagel
not
for
giving this little
$2.
nigga shit
Or
else.
a hot breakfast sandwich for $3.
I don't
Nothing.
think, I don't think they're gonna
Only
give
at your
us
neighborhood Tim Hortons.
that just sounds like
Pay rent with Built.
he's spoiled and entitled.
Month to redeem toward flights with
Oh yeah, he get good grades. I gave him a car. Might not be the car he wants, but it's the car he needs. He's going to school.
We don't even need that.
I raised his ass. He's getting paid. I did my part, Your Honor. That's it. Now, I want your black ass out. Or your Argentinian ass out of here. Beat it.
I don't think he thought this shit through after
Without any.
after Applebee.
Okay? My parents
Applebee
died
hit
when I was
ass
seven
nigga. Get outta
in
here.
Argentina, and I had to stay with an aunt. Who was a very mean person, but you know that's neither here nor there. She raised me, and I'm thankful for that. When I turned 21, I decided I wanted to come to the United States for a better life, and that's exactly what I did. And I have been working every single day of my life until today. I can't believe.
No, did he so clap his dad? I will beat your dumb ass.
Wait,
He was like,
you know how difficult it is for me to take a day off. Mister, I can't believe you are hold my on, son. hold on. You You had a chance to speak. Let me ask you this question, Mr. Omar. And I'm not going to get into the financials of the situation. I'm assuming that you have your own business or you work for a company? I work for a major company. You work for a major company. Yes. Now, without getting into the financials, I'm assuming because of his request that you can afford a luxury car. Yes. I'm not. You can afford, yes, and you probably can afford a Porsche, Ferrari, Lamborghini, whatever he requested. I wouldn't say that. Okay, but you have the financials that if you wanted to make that happen, you can make that happen. I could probably. You had your chance. Now it's his turn. Son, excuse me. Let me ask you this question: when you came here from Argentina, I did. Did you have that type of money? I never had any money to my name. Type of money to buy yourself a luxury car like that? Absolutely not. I had to work for everything I have every day of my life. I had no parents. I didn't even have a family, for Christ's sake. So you had to work to get to where you are now? I have had to work every single day of my life since I was 7 years old. Do you have a college degree? I do not. I am not a college educated person. I am a self-taught man. Okay. So from a financial standpoint, would you consider yourself to be successful? Well, that's a tough question, Mr. Porter. It's a tough question. I mean, I am, quote unquote, yes, you can call it a successful person, but I'm not a rich person. You're better off than most, I should say, rather. I would say I'm middle class plus. Middle class plus. If you want to look. Okay. Look at it that way. And your son is suing you. And why did you decide to buy him a electrical vehicle instead of the car that he wanted? Well, we've had this conversation already. No. Tell me. I'm curious. I'm just curious. Of course. So, my wife and I originally wanted to buy him a what we call in the Spanish community a transportation, which is basically a cheap car with high miles, just to get him from point A to point B, which is essentially all he needs. He's a college student. It's not like he's going to go party every day. He has to go to school. And then we decided, because he's been such an exceptionally gifted student, that we were going to buy him a nice car. So we got him an electric vehicle, which I consider to be, I don't know the way you guys look at it, but I consider an electric vehicle a luxury car. I got him on it. I don't know. $40,000 without getting into the make and model of the electric car that you purchased. What I do know that they are not cheap.
No, they're
not. And on average, they cost at least $50,000, $60,000 starting. Am I correct in saying that? Give or take? At the very least, yes, sir.
That's pretty cheap.
That's not cheap. I'm sorry, what?
That's pretty cheap.
It's cheap? Yeah, because you don't know where money comes from.
Okay.
I don't know. Here's where. Do you see what I have to do? Are you seeing what I'm hearing?
I'm hearing every word of this.
Yes, sir.
Add something. The fact that he even had the idea of getting me a low-end, cheap start-out car, I kind of find that disrespectful.
It's disrespectful.
Yes, I have an image to uphold. You know.
Is this your only child?
Is this real?
This is my only child, Judge Porter. Do you
This
see
real
what I have to
or
do
is this
with-
scripted?
Mr. Benny.
That even helps my case more. I'm an only child. He can,
I understand
no
that.
way.
Mr.
spend the whole
Benny.
budget on me. There's no other kids.
Benny, what have I done for you your entire life if not give you everything? You have a roof, you have food to eat, and you have an electric car.
So I
and you're going to college paid for by the state. What are you complaining about?
So why couldn't you just give me the car I wanted?
Because you don't deserve it. That's why. Because you have to learn the principle of working for what you want. You want a Ferrari? You want a Ferrari? You go to the NBA, get drafted by the NBA. You buy Ferrari. I got you a nice car.
I've been working hard in this
That's all you
past.
need.
4.0 GPA has been
How
building
about
up.
you give me the car
I'm the
back?
captain of the
And you
basketball
get
team.
out
I have
my
an
house.
image to uphold. Everyone in the school knows who I am. I can't pull up in an electric vehicle.
Mr. Omar, sir, I'll take it from here. Mr. Porter, this is outrageous.
Mr. Benny. Yes, Your Honor.
I want to commend you for your grade point average. I want to commend you for that. You have made a dedication.
Good job going to school
to
every day,
academics.
Wes. Good job.
It appears to me you made a dedication to receiving your degree. What are you studying in school, sir?
Actually, I'm studying cybersecurity.
Cybersecurity. Okay. So once you have your degree, you have a foundation to go through life and make a living.
It's not work zone. It's not flashing.
I want to commend you for putting in the work to receiving a basketball scholarship. There are plenty of people out there who have athletic talent, but they don't have the discipline to put it together where they can receive the college scholarship. I want to commend you for that. Okay.
It's the final game, folks. This one brings the series. Struck out with the cheap seats. Important things aren't worth compromising. At Farmers, we offer both quality insurance and great savings. Here, take mine.
He's setting them up. He's giving him a nice layer of fluff before he shoots his range right out the end. This is going to be so good. Oh, I want to see his face.
I want to commend you for that. Okay. Here's where you are a disappointment. This man owes you nothing. Thank you. He owes you absolutely nothing. You are an adult. You are a grown man. This is the first step in being your own person. He has done his job. When you were a baby, they made sure that you were fed, that you were clothed, that you had shelter. They did their job. Let me ask, hold on for a second, sir. Did he go to private school or public school? Benny went to private schools. Private school. Wait a minute, so he went to private schools. Were they free for you or did you have to pay for that? Absolutely not. You're an educated man, Mr. Porter. I am. You must know the cost of private tuition. It's not cheap. So they pay for you to have the best education. They make this, I understand that, but there are people out there who don't have the ability to go to some of the best schools.
I understand that. I didn't ask them to go to private school. That was their choice.
You know what? You're right. They could have sent you to public school. It's unbelievable. As a matter of fact, he could have said something like, you know what? I'm going to put him in a boarding school somewhere and let somebody else deal with him. I'm going to spend all my time with my wife because apparently there's no other children. They made the sacrifice so you can have. Okay? He bought you a car. Whether it's an electric car or what we used to call a jalopy, you had a car to get from point A to point B. And how your friends think about it, who cares what they think about it? Okay? Are you here to satisfy their image or are you here to satisfy your own? Because when you start being concerned about what other people think about you, you are setting yourself up for failure. Don't give a damn what other people care about. If you show up in a bicycle
Your job is to get your education. Your job is to play basketball. You said you're the captain of the basketball team. My job here is to lead us to a conference championship, and so be it. Maybe we can win a national championship. Who cares how you get there? If you come across a young lady and she laughs at the car, who cares? That means that she's superficial. She cares about what you have, not about who you are. Be concerned about who you are. Love the fact that you have a mother and a father who care about you, because guess what? There are kids out there who don't have that. Okay? They don't have a mother and a father who are there to support them. Because I tell you what, because you're grown, if that man right now said, you know what, get the hell out of my house, where are you going to stay? You can use that $50,000 that you get from the school to get your own place, but you know what? You can. It can never. You have health, and you are so blind to that fact. You don't even see